you, Adrian, and a very good afternoon to you as England stand again, looking ahead to a week that could just change the country's footballing history. For the fourth time in 6 years, they embark on a major quarter-final. 3 wins from glory, from reworking the narrative, from writing the counter-melody to the self-effacing songs of failure. 18 down, 6 to go, and amidst the steady succession of high-profile departures, England are still in there. But only they will know how. One iconic moment of belief suspending Bellingham brilliance hauled them back from the brink. An unthinkable exit within seconds of becoming reality. As storm clouds gathered overhead, an overhead kick for the ages, a lifeline thrown, a famous goal to prevent an infamous night. And now, 6 days after clambering off the Gelsenkirchen canvas just 30 miles east of here, the need for answers and wholesale improvement that makes this quarter-final so unlike those that have gone before. The customary side dish of blind optimism that often accompanies the last 8 ties, replaced instead with a garnishing of hard-nosed cynicism. And how quickly that would alter if England can find a way to do themselves justice. The need for change in fortunes brings a change in system. England starting with the back 3 for the first time in 24 internationals. Pickford's in goal, Walker, Stones, Konsa, Trippier, Mainu, Rice and Saka. Bellingham and Foden behind Kane. Switzerland, Jan Sommer in goal, Cher, Akanji, Rodriguez, Ndoye, Freuler, Xhaka and Aebischer, Reeder and Vargas, and Embolo. Away to our right-hand side, around 6,000-7,000 Swiss fans, the vast majority of whom were on the train up from Stuttgart this morning. Everywhere else you look, all England supporters. Crosses of St George everywhere. England not necessarily expecting, but hoping and praying that today it will be different. Forget the arduous journey full of frustrations and fallibility. In the last week of any tournament, victory is all that matters. Today, either the end of an era or a prelude to potential glory. We're underway. Long ball forward from the kickoff from Jordan Pickford, sailing over the head of Bukayo Saka, who has started at right wing back with Trippier over on the left. That's gone out of play for a throw that will be taken by the Swiss. So an interesting tactical change. Stuart Pearce, we were talking in the build-up about the fact that England might switch the wing-backs round a little bit. We've already seen it with Saka on the right-hand side. Somewhere with a long ball forward. John Stones is able to mop up. He'll play it back for Jordan Pickford. Great to be alongside you. It's do or die time.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. Yeah, it's caught us out slightly with Saka playing on this side. Obviously, it's his preferred side, you know, albeit a wing-back role today. So we believe Trippier on the left-hand side. We thought Trippier would be this side, as you mentioned earlier, for his defensive prowess. But remains to be seen how this plays out.
Pickford squeezing the ball from the back, from the 6-yard box. It goes out for a throw, which will be taken by Carl Walker. Gareth Southgate with his 100th game in charge today, the 3rd English national coach to get to that milestone, and neither of the previous ones lost game number 100. Granit Xhaka picking the ball up in the midfield for the Swiss in their kit of two-tone red. They kick it from right to left as we look at it. England attacking the end of the ground that houses the Swiss supporters. Here's Rodriguez. Picking it up on the left-hand side, playing it back to Akanji. Back inside his penalty area for Jan Sommer. You were watching the warm-up and you were talking about the way that the Swiss were playing, and it is almost the back four that they've started with here. Long ball pumped forward, and here's Ndoye trying to turn away in the midfield. He's done well, good ball retention, just got there ahead of Ezri Konsa. Plays it back for Akanji. Akanji works it between the lines, and Bolo dropping deep tries to help it on. Freuler and Xhaka both there in the heart of the centre circle for the Switzerland. As the ball is worked back out to Rodriguez again. And Rodriguez back for Akanji, playing at the heart of that Swiss back line. From him to Newcastle United's Fabian Schär. Right-footed ball forward from him. Well chased down and blocked by Jude Bellingham. And it goes out of play for a Swiss throw on halfway. 2.5 minutes gone here on TalkSport, and it's still 0-0.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Swiss line-up here, and good rotation. Abisha's gone into midfield, almost a central area, alongside Mbolo on occasion, you know, so that's something England will have to be acutely aware of, the movement, the interchange.
The movement off the ball is very clever, but the delivery of a pass not so good on that occasion. Looking for Abisha, the ball sailed past him and goes out of play for a throw. And now with England in possession in Swiss territory, they do drop back to the more familiar back five formation with Abisha on the left of those five and Rodriguez on the left of three centre-halves. Phil Foden's gone in, able to take the ball on the half-turn, and he works it down for Bukayo Saka here. He's 5 yards adrift at the edge of the penalty area. He's played it back for Kobbie Mainoo into the feet of Declan Rice. Mainoo has it again. Foden pointing the way, advising him to roll the ball out towards Saka, and he's done exactly that. Mainoo again. Foden playing it back for Rice. It's a purposeful start here from England. Foden heavily involved in these early exchanges. Walker able to come forward. Releases Bukayo Saka. Saka chopping it onto his left foot, curves the ball too deep for the run from Trippier, and it goes out of play for a goal kick. That, though, a decent England move over 45, 60 seconds.
Yeah, confident start by England. As I say, knocked the ball around really well. Declan Rice playing an incisive ball through the thirds. Foden getting turned brilliantly well. And that's what we want to see from Saka. Deliver the ball into the box whenever you can.
And someone's got the ball at his feet. Just played it out to Akanji, who had his back to the direction play on the edge of the penalty area. That invited the England press. Switzerland then quickly work it out wide to the right, then through the middle, and out now towards Abisha. And Walker backpedaling, stumbled. Little flick off inside the penalty area from Freuler, didn't come off. Switzerland will have to make do with a throw. In fact, it's come off Rodriguez last. It is an England throw, but that is how they switch the play, inviting the press very quickly with two passes, playing from the right out to the left, and they were deep in England territory in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, and the problem was we pressed, but we didn't press aggressively enough. If you're going to go, you've got to go en masse, and you've got to go aggressively. If you go half-hearted like we did then, they'll do exactly as you've explained brilliantly, Jim. They'll cut us open.
5 minutes in, 0-0 the score. Later we'll find out who the winners of this tie will be playing in the semi-finals. Netherlands against Turkey meeting in Berlin. It kicks off at 8 over on TalkSport 2. We'll have your reaction after this game here on TalkSport with a Sports Bar special, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy, interspersed with reaction from Gareth Southgate and the England headline makers as well. Kobbie Mainoo's in possession. He's in his own half of the centre circle. Bellingham's just dropped that little bit deeper to link up the play. Stones down towards Walker. A lot has been made of the need for England almost to flick a switch and inject a little bit of confidence. The signs are potentially that the results 6 days ago might have gone some way towards doing that, because there is a purpose about England. There's a crispness in the passing. There's not the nervousness that perhaps has been prevalent in some of the earlier games, albeit that we're only 6 minutes into this one. Saka's got it again here. Picking it up on the right-hand side. Foden's got 3 red shirts around him, but did well to control the ball and just try and draw the challenge from Vargas. He's worked it out towards Declan Rice to Bellingham. Trippier in the thin corridor of sunshine over on the far touchline. Plays it back for Bellingham again. Chip ball inside the box. Saka, an all-good one to control. Able to chest it down. Comes back outside the penalty area to feed Walker. Ball in from Walker. Sliced away by Akanji, but the flag was up. And it's a free kick to Switzerland for an offside.
Yeah, I've got to say, I'm not against that. Bellingham turning the Swiss back line around, and then when it come back to Walker, put it in the box and make them defend it.
Switzerland coming into this unbeaten in 8. They've only lost 1 of their last 18 games. The only defeat they've had since the World Cup was in the final qualifier in Romania. The World Cup defeat was so disappointing. They beat 6-1 by Portugal in the round of 16, but they've recovered brilliantly since then. Led by the irrepressible Murat Yakin. And if you watch Ted Lasso, he is the spit of Trent Crimm, the journalist. A very noticeable figure. A firm favourite of TV directors everywhere. Abisha Plays the ball centrally through the midfield. Granit Xhaka's got it now. Freuler's laid it off. Xhaka out towards the right-hand side for Darren Doy. Doy, a striker, has been playing at right wing-back over the last couple of games. Good ball inside the penalty area. Brilliantly tracked back by Mainu. Aebischer have made a run from left wing-back, past the penalty spot. Mainu saw him coming, sweeps up, gets it away for a Swiss throw.
Well, one thing's for sure, Jim, if the England fans weren't sure, they've heard that the Swiss are not a bad side. These early minutes and the fluidity of their team and the interchange of their team, they look a very confident side.
Kanji inside the centre circle for Switzerland. Every England player can decide his own half just for a moment. Their movement is excellent. The patterns of play are almost unique from the Swiss. Foden pushing forward here. Xhaka going back, split the centre halves, finds Cher. Foden chasing back diligently, and Xhaka makes his way through the midfield. Pass is being zipped around by the men in red. Kanji forward towards Xhaka and back again. The Manchester City man works it square to his right-hand side for Fabian Cher. Bright yellow boots, long diagonal from him. Bouncing and brought down really well by Vargas. Now by the left-hand corner flag. Walker can't stop the cross. Good defensive header from Konsa. Comes back out of the right-hand side of the penalty area. Still Switzerland have it with Remo Freuler. Wants it Forrest. Left-footed shot comes in. Stones can head that one away from in front of Pickford. England certainly in a defensive battle here. Xhaka winning it back from Kane. Works it back now towards Cher. And Switzerland take a couple of steps back, but will soon be coming forward again. With Xhaka finding Rodriguez and now out towards Aebischer. Vargas ahead of him. Really confident start from the Swiss. We've played 4 major quarterfinals in the past and lost them all. So the victory here will take them to their first ever major semi-final. Granit Xhaka in possession. 15 yards outside the penalty area. 9.5 minutes behind us here on TalkSport. It's 0-0. England not pressing Xhaka when he's got possession, forcing him to work the ball out towards Akanji. Then when he goes to Cher, Bellingham hairs after him. He can easily work it forward to Reader, who's playing as one of the inside forwards. Freuler in towards Embolo, taking it on. Rice coming back in with the challenge inside the penalty area. Didn't really get it away effectively. Then Embolo driving the ball in, just trying to play it into Trippier to win a corner, but he failed. And it's got out of play for a goal kick, which will be taken by Jordan Pickford. Let's go down pitch side. Faye Carruthers, our England correspondent. Faye, what have you spotted in the first 10 minutes?
It was really interesting watching that last phase of play in particular. Ezri Konsa saved the day. Dan Ndoye is really nippy, and Trippier and Konsa can't quite deal with his pace.
Ball play forward by Jordan Pickford from the kickoff. Thank you, Faye. Flicked on towards Phil Foden. Foden doing well to duck his head in here. Kieran Trippier back for Rice. Has to stretch to bring the ball under control, but can do that. Back from him to Mainu. Mainu to Kyle Walker. Saka peeling away out towards the right-hand side. Waiting for the ball to be played. It is now. Work back in towards Kyle Walker. Walker into the feet of Rice. Back for Walker to Stones. First time ball brings Ezri Konsa into it. Wearing 14 for England on this is full competitive debut. Quick exchange of passes between Konsa and Foden. And now it's Switzerland's turn to have everybody behind the ball inside their own half. Walker. Back towards John Stones. Bellingham dropping deep. The 2 inside forwards for England will certainly be the man that will be given them more license to push back and float around. Foden will keep a higher position by and large, sometimes alternating with Kieran Trippier as he's done now. It's Foden that's peeled away out of the left and Trippier is further forward, trying to make a run in behind the right wing back and Doyle. England working back inside their own half for a moment with John Stones. With TalkSport, Jim Bradford, Stuart Pearce talking through the action. Thank you others pitch side, Adrian Durham in the chair. All the reaction at the end of this game here on TalkSport. As I mentioned earlier, Sports Bar will follow for your reactions. England working back for Pickford. Pickford, low driven ball, an excellent one as well towards halfway. Straight in the feet of Jude Bellingham. Bellingham can run in an arcing manner through the heart of the midfield. Finds Kane. Kane with a long switch of play. Saka's got Walker making him run ahead of him. Saka's control is brilliant. He'll take it on and then find Walker. Walker controlling it, can play it back for Saka. Left-footed, chopped under the feet of Harry Kane. Foden takes over to Rice. Back out to the England left-hand side for Jude Bellingham. Foden's got it again. Central position. 10 yards outside the penalty area. Finding Mainu coming forward, into the feet of Bellingham. Bellingham getting it out from between his feet, trying to release Trippier, couldn't find him. Freuler digs it away. But Declan Rice will be first to pick up the ball in a neutral part of the pitch, and now can bring it forward again to find Mainu. Mainu to Rice. Rice away from Mbolo. John Stones coming forward. Saka on the England right, level the edge of the box, skips round Abisha, gets to the byline, sends it across, heading down towards the edge of the box. Rice with the shot, took a deflection, done clear by Vargas, and a play for a throw.
Well, one thing we found out in these early minutes is Abisha is no match for Saka when he gets in one-on-one, that's for sure. And our two number 10s in Foden and Bellingham, they've got to be patient and hold their position beyond the midfield of Switzerland, because we don't want both of them coming back to receive. At least one of them's got to stay in a more advanced area.
Walker taking a throw in front of an England cross of St George with the Wolves flag in the top left-hand corner, and Atherston blazoned across the middle. Now towards Ezri Konsa, and here will turn the ball all the way back for Jordan Pickford. Will come out of his own penalty area. Give us an overview, Stuart, of the opening 14 minutes. What have you made of the start that England have made here?
Well, I think we've shown more confidence than any of the games I've seen us play before, but we're up against a tougher task here. There's no doubt about that. This Swiss team are well versed. They're decent. The movement between the thirds, if you like, is very, very good. But they've also demonstrated as well, they look a little bit nervous when we do move the ball around.
Kieran Trippier, I beg your pardon, over on the far touchline, just offside there as England try to build down the far touchline. England fans around us in fine voice have been heartened by what they've seen so far. A better first 15 minutes than England had against Slovakia, without a shadow of a doubt. Free kick that will be taken over on the Swiss right-hand side. It's only their second major quarter-final since 1954. It's England's fourth in a row. First time they've ever reached the last 8 of 4 successive major tournaments. England have it again with Bellingham. Played out towards the England left-hand side. Back towards Harry Kane. Kane inside the box, setting up a shot for Mainu. Right-footed effort. Hit a Swiss defender. Ricochets back out to Rice. His left-footed ball, it didn't quite have the height. Kane comes to meet it. Cher was there with him. Kane goes to ground. Gets back on his feet, claiming that he should have had a penalty. VAR will have a look at it. Not sure how much of a case there is to answer for Fabian Cher. And the referee immediately waved the appeals away. Cher just flipping the ball with his right foot. Kane going to ground. What do you think, Stuart?
Yeah, for me, not enough for a penalty there. Both players have gone for it. Harry Kane's got there first, there's no doubt, and that's probably the point he's making to the referee. He's nicked the ball. Not enough. Potentially a corner from it, though.
Yeah, at the very least, it looked as though the last touch came off Fabian Cher. The play does restart with a goal kick. Switzerland playing through the press, then work it forward long, but it bounces awkwardly for Vargas, who was chasing after it. Pass on the edge of the D, went through for Jordan Pickford. England will push everybody upfield. Just 3 wins in the last 9 games. So I think that England's last 10 internationals have probably all been displays that haven't been consistently good throughout 90 minutes, but will they be able to turn it on today in the Dusseldorf sunshine? Ball with Cher goes back to his goalkeeper Jan Sommer.
I made the point, Jim, about our 2 number 10s. They've got to be patient, waiting for the ball to come to them on occasion. Don't come too deep. The same applies for Declan Rice as well. He needs to stay patient.
Mainu has done really well. Good dynamic driving run forward from him, and he ends up almost playing piggyback with Manuel Akanji as he chased after the ball. Akanji put the brakes on. He was very nearly carrying Mainu through the penalty area as he did so. Jan Sommer can pick it up. But it's been a more confident display from Mainu. Still too far past his 19th birthday. You can understand games of this magnitude weigh heavily on the shoulders of any player, let alone somebody as young as Kobbie Mainu. And he started really well here. Akanji forward towards Xhaka to Rodriguez. Rodriguez turning it forward. Rice coming to meet the ball with Embolo, who threw himself to the ground, put his hands on the ball. The referee said, you were fouled. He then tried to take the free kick quickly, slamming it into Declan Rice, but the referee wasn't having that and didn't produce a yellow card. Rice couldn't retreat any more quickly than he did. Switzerland take the free kick, working with Freuler back for Granit Xhaka. Now towards Ricardo Rodriguez. 18 minutes gone, 0-0. Ball played forward through the midfield. Freuler, good third man run forward from him. Bolo tried to play it back into his path. Walker making a meal of getting it away, but he has been fouled by Freuler. And it's a free kick to England inside that penalty area.
The only concern I have on occasion, the ball's been played into one of the Swiss forward players, and there's not been an England player nice and tight on them. When you've got three defenders at the back, the proviso is always this: one of you goes really tight, the others cover.
So a free kick that England will take with John Stones, about a yard outside his 6-yard box. Flipping it forward in towards the centre circle. He's done really well to find Jude Bellingham in there. Bellingham controlling it on his chest, then nodding it into his path and continuing his run forward. Now he can feed Saka. 3 red shirts around him, including Vargas, who's done well to come back and win it. Vargas plays it back towards Aebischer. Aebischer to Rodriguez, immediately under pressure inside his own penalty area. He found Akanji with a hurried pass, and Akanji could dig it clear. England win the seconds, but deeper in the midfield. Mainu and Stones doing well, and Walker feeds Foden.
Like the last build-up there, John Stones, the Swiss players locked onto the English players. We could have played a shorter pass. He's decided to bisect that, drop the ball into Bellingham, and from that we can build an attack.
Walking out towards Stones inside the centre circle. There's much more of a variety of England's attacking play in the opening 20 minutes than we've seen in any other game in this tournament so far. There's also been a better tempo about England from the start than we've certainly seen in 3 of the other 4 games, and arguably all 4. Stones is back inside his own half and feeds Walker. With 20 minutes in, still goalless and largely chanceless. I don't think either goalkeeper has had anything like a remotely difficult save to make. Foden working back for Declan Rice again. It feels as though England are being able to lay down a solid platform here. Foden doing well. He's got Saka in behind Aebischer. Saka right across the 6-yard box, and nobody was there to be able to convert his good work. Great ball by Foden, even better cross from Saka. Too far ahead of Kane. Switzerland slamming clear to safety.
Well, beautiful ball in behind the back line by Foden. And here's the key to this game out on this side with Saka. Aebischer certainly nervous as a kitten every time he fronts him up.
So England have the first corner, and Kieran Trippier is going to take it on this right flank. Ezri Konsa amongst those 4, standing inside the 6-yard box. Foden waiting on the edge of the D is unmarked. Stones by the penalty spot. Harry Kane coming in deep. Switzerland defending zonally. It's in towards Kane, a looping header from him, but way off target, and he goes back out of play for a goal kick.
I've got to say, awful defending there by the Swiss. They've left Harry Kane. If you're going to leave anybody, he is probably not the England player to leave, and he got a clear header, just couldn't get the height to keep the ball down. But England have played well. I've got to say, it's a solid 20 odd minutes already, as solid 20 minutes as I've seen in this campaign so far.
And Sommer clears and just passes it through the midfield straight for Bukayo Saka. Foden, good ball from Foden. Bellingham left hand side of the penalty area. Bellingham pulls it back, and it's done clear by Xhaka inside the box. But a bright 3 or 4 minute spell this for England, and Switzerland on the back foot. The Swiss yet to have a shot. England yet to have one on target, but getting a few sights of Jan Sommer's goal now. Bellingham goes out towards the left-hand side and ends up on the deck after just being caught there by Bril Embolo. Ranieri or side of the Italian referee has a word with him, nothing more.
Yeah, we've got a good referee for today's game. I think he's one of the tops in Europe, and Bolo there had the ump that he didn't get a free kick earlier and just took his frustration out on Bellingham. Good referee, and could have comfortably booked him, but decided not to.
Yes, the second or third time that we've seen Orsato in the flesh over the course of this tournament. Easy to see why he's got such a good reputation. He did take charge of England's win over Serbia in the group stage. And he's given England this free kick here. And Switzerland defending with a high line 6 yards outside the box. They're defending on the line, one of the mown lines of turf. Ball swept inside the penalty area. It might reach Saka, who did his best to hook it back in with his right foot. It had just gone over the line for a goal kick before he did so. Goal kick that someone will take. 23 gone, 0-0.
I've got to say, that was an absolute wonderful ball in from Foden. He's whipped it away from the goalie, he's dropped it in and around the 6 yard box, and he fully expected from his body language, one of the players, he was expecting to get on the end of that.
He started well, Foden.
He has. I think they all have. Everyone's looked very confident with the ball at their feet. The only question mark we have on occasion is they played through us on a couple of occasions, but there's two very, very well-matched sides out there, Jim.
Switzerland trying to invite the press again. It looks a little bit nervous when they do so. Kanji hurriedly gets the ball out of harm's way. And he goes deep into England territory where Stones can mop up, and he'll go back for Jordan Pickford. Pickford clipping it left-footed down towards Kyle Walker. Checks it down and turns, finds Phil Foden, whose heat map will be interesting because in this slightly freer role that he's got as an inside forward behind Harry Kane, he has much more freedom, and he's here, there and everywhere rather than just being confined to the left-hand side of the pitch. Play forward by the Swiss though, now in towards the edge of the area, done clear by Konsa, did really well as Embolo trying to get a shot away. Loose ball breaks for Xhaka, and England have quickly got everybody back behind the ball again. Rodriguez forced away, but not forced out of possession. Lays it back for Granit Xhaka, who's making his 130th appearance for his country today. Back from him to Rodriguez, who's only 10 behind him. They've seen an awful lot of international football, those two. Work forward inside the penalty area. Stones doing well. Abisha made the run. Stones poked it back for Pickford, and he slams it away towards halfway. Good defending by England. Still not allowing the Swiss a single shot as yet. It's 0-0 here on TalkSport. England much better in the opening 25 minutes than they've been at any other stage of the tournament so far, against better opposition as well. Switzerland inside the top 20 in the FIFA World Rankings, highest still at 13th in the ELO ratings. Rodriguez getting it forward, Xhaka to Vargas, sliding challenge, well timed by Walker. Mainu comes away with the ball, and Xhaka cynically leant into him to stop him getting a second touch. And it's a free kick to England in the heart of the midfield inside their own half. 25 gone, England 0, Switzerland 0. And here is the England captain, former England captain, Stuart Pearce.
Well, you can see how they use Xhaka within their ranks here. He's almost Switzerland within Switzerland, isn't he? He's the neutral zone who they trust with the ball, really, you know. And they bounce it off of him, and they look to him. You can see the other players almost look up to him with their aspirations.
I thought you were going to say he's the big cheese amongst the cheeses.
Oh, he is the Grand Fromage, my friend.
That's where you were going with that. It's Stones. Glimpses it through the midfield towards Bellingham. And Bellingham will work it back for Ezri Konsa. And Konsa has also started well. A couple of very assured touches from him. One notable defensive header as well to steer a cross away. And he's shown up well as he makes his first ever start in tournament football. It is only his 6th cap for England today. He's going all right at the moment. Bellingham trying to win a throw. England have succeeded over on that far touchline, although the reaction of the two Swiss players right by the touchline suggests that the decision might not have been correct. Stones will pick it up inside the D, and then we'll work it to his left for Konsa.
I'll tell you what we've done well, Jim. We've mixed our game up. It's not just slow at the back on the build-up. We've bisected, we've gone over the top of their press on occasion and dropped the ball into Bellingham and Kane, and I think that's good.
So Rice can feed Bellingham now. And he easily makes 20 yards upfield. Plays it back for Declan Rice. Mainu in close support for him. Quick exchange of passes. Rice to Walker. Foden showing for the ball 10 yards ahead of him, and it's played in. Foden goes square, Rice just allowing Freuler to come towards him. Plays it back for Konsa. Confidence in the Aston Villa defender. He works it forward. Stones to Walker. Walker chipping it straight down the inside right channel. Saka again, getting goal side of Abisha, playing it inside the penalty area, and it's cleared by Akanji. That, as Stuart identified in the very early exchange of the game, surely seems to be the key to unlocking this Swiss back line. Saka against Abisha is a mismatch.
Yeah, and we also talk about Abisha being a real threat going forward. The best way to nullify a threat going forward is put them on the back foot and make them defend and rock their confidence, and Saka's doing exactly that.
So he played as an attacking midfielder or a right winger in the last World Cup, Abisha. He's been playing at left wing back in this tournament. Did score against Hungary. Plays his club football in Bologna. He's actually started more games in this tournament now than in the rest of his international career combined. But he's second best in his own individual battle at the moment here, although Saka hasn't been able to really capitalise on anything so far. A series of 2 or 3 really good balls inside the penalty area, but England haven't been in the right position to capitalise on those. Saka's won another throw here, level with the edge of the Swiss box. 28 gone. And it's 0-0. Walker, in fact, will end up taking the throw. He goes back for his club teammate Stones. Now to Declan Rice again. Rice passing one step further down the line for Konsa. Scooped over the top here for the run from Bellingham. Not quite enough on it from Trippier. And it's clear. England picking up the seconds. Here comes Kyle Walker. Walker out to Saka. Saka controlling it, working it infield. To Mainu, to Foden. Good, quick passing football this from England. Bellingham pirouetting on the edge of the penalty area, chipped it in. Walker just trying to stand in front of Xhaka so that he couldn't see what was going on. As Bellingham chipped it in, Xhaka heads it away, and it goes out for another England corner.
Yeah, there's been such a better mixture of our play. Instead of going sideways and backwards all the time, we're playing forwards, we're playing forward passes over the back of their back line, and we've picked up second balls on the back of it if we haven't got onto the first one. Much, much better from England.
Trippier just being told to wait by the assistant referee Ciro Carbone for being allowed to fire this corner in. There's a little bit of pushing and shoving going on and jockeying for position on the edge of the 6. Corner now taken short to Saka, to Mainu and to Walker. Walker actually lets it run for Phil Foden. The Swiss will push out, and Walker forced to go all the way back towards Pickford. That's probably the first frustrating passage of play that the England fans have had to see. It comes on the half-hour mark, but a corner for England ended up going all the way back for Jordan Pickford. Rodriguez. Pickford had got it forward long into Swiss territory. Working through the midfield towards Freuler. Freuler's pressurised by Trippier, whose starting position has been much higher up the field than it has in previous games. Xhaka to his right hand side for Fabian Schär. Crossfield ball from one side of the back 3 to the other. Rodriguez controlling it. Tail defender brings it down and brings it forward towards halfway. Schär to Xhaka. Abisha with a little layoff. Xhaka's got it again. Vargas hugging the left hand touchline, but Rodriguez makes one of his trademark runs forward. Intercepts a ball that was probably intended for the left-sided forward. Back it goes for Abisha. Abisha to Akanji. It's England's turn to defend diligently after 7 or 8 minutes of pressure at the other end. Worked into the feet of Embolo. Embolo with a little layoff. Coming onto it was Remo Freuler. Konsa again. Another chapter on his good afternoon. Just knocks the ball away. Read the danger very early. Swiss working forward towards Remo Freuler. Vargas trying to make a run in between Walker and Stones. It's clear. Back it comes for Akanji again. Akanji through the centre circle. 13 minutes to go to half-time. Rodriguez. Swiss left. That's a good deep ball. Trippier had followed Embolo inside the penalty area. It's gone back out to the far touchline. Comes in again, driven in by Reader. Bellingham can bring it away. And Bellingham opens up his stride and will make his way forward, and he's wrestled to the ground over on that far touchline. It's an easy decision for the referee. And Fabian Schär is protesting his innocence, but Daniele Orsato is quick to produce a yellow card. Bellingham just making his way past him. Schär leant across him, pushed the arm up in towards the neck of Bellingham. That's a free kick to England and a yellow card for Fabian Schär.
Yeah, the most pleasing thing about that is Bellingham's picked it up in an advanced area, but there's no suggestion he was going to stop, check, go backwards. It was always very forthright. He's made a run and he's asked a question of a defender.
There are 4 Swiss players who are a yellow card away from suspension if they're booked today. Schär not one of them. England have 4 starters in the same book, incidentally. Trippier, Mainu, Bellingham and Foden. So Schär the first man caution. It's 0-0. 32 gone on TalkSport. Stones. Mainu. Oh, great turn. Just let the ball do the work. And he strides away here from Freuler and from Xhaka. Passes it to his left. Kieran Trippier, right-footed ball. It was that handball. Still finds Foden. Acrobatic overhead kick. Not effective as a cross inside the penalty area. Xhaka then goes down. He got caught by a combination of Saka and Mainu. And it's a free kick that the Swiss will take just outside their own box.
I think the referee's just been told there was a handball there. Trippier's ball in. It was a clear handball. He didn't see it. The referee didn't see it. He's looked away just as the ball had left Trippier's foot and missed it, and ended up giving a free kick on the edge of the box for Xhaka. The one thing that's evident, Jim, from what I'm seeing at the moment, this might be a 1-0 game, so the first goal is going to be so vital.
12 minutes to go to half-time. Just to underline that point that Stuart has made, we haven't had a shot on target so far. 34 minutes have brought 4 off-target attempts, 3 of them for England. Was, having seen the replay, a clear handball by Freuler. He put his hands up almost as protection for his face, but they're away from his body. And the ball struck one of them. England should have had a free kick in a good position. That is not, they didn't. And Akanji will bring it forward now for the Swiss. Through the centre circle. And he's got the licence to come forward 10 yards or so. Trippier with a challenge. He's then out of position. Konsa shuffles across and did enough to make sure that when the cross came in from Schär, it was just away and behind Pickford's goal. Out for a goal kick that will be taken by the England man. Let's go back pitch side and speak to TalkSport's England correspondent Faye Carruthers.
It's been a much calmer England performance, apart from the few spurts of Swiss attack that we've seen. And actually, this is the calmest that I've seen Jordan Pickford this entire tournament. He's been applauding and supporting his teammates rather than shouting at them constantly. So positive down here.
Thank you, Faye. It's a Swiss throw on this near touchline the left. A lot of the attacking play for England has gravitated down what is to us the near touchline, down the England right. Aebischer and Saka getting involved again, and there was just almost a little game of slapsies between the pair of them there for a moment. Aebischer trying something different because he knows that he's barely coming second in that battle right now. Just trying to put a physical side to the battle to be able to get the better of Saka. England bring it away with Rice. Good movement from Bellingham, and they very nearly squeeze it through down that left-hand touchline. Not quite. Swiss got the block in, then they work it for the offside flag comes up. Referee plays the advantage. Good advantage as well. Konsa doing well. Stepping up from the defensive line. Bellingham meaning business. Right-footed ball from him. Foden jumps over it. Saka's got it. Left-footed ball in from Saka. Bellingham just trying to improvise. Couldn't get the touch. And he couldn't sow enough of a seed of doubt in Sommer's mind to cause problems inside that 6-yard box. But again, England looking purposeful on the front foot.
Yeah, much better. Looking to play forward passes. I've got to say, Trippier should have done better with his forward pass just to find Bellingham in behind, but he didn't. It got cut out, but we retrieved it, and from there, good play by Bellingham.
It is an England performance full of idea, though. And that is something that we haven't had the luxury of talking about very frequently in Germany.
Jim, you take this performance in isolation, you'd be delighted with it. Yes, we haven't worked their goalkeeper, but they haven't worked ours either, and this is a decent side, this Swiss. You've got to bear that in mind.
Switzerland getting here by beating Hungary, held by Scotland and then drew with Germany, but only conceded a goal right at the end of that game. Very comfortable 2-0 victory against Italy last time out. That's what brings them to Dusseldorf with the same record that England have got, 2 wins, 2 draws. Swiss over on the right-hand touchline are in England territory at the moment with Granit Xhaka. They're 8 minutes away from half-time. It's a game that, as Stuart said, feels as though it might just be settled by a moment or two. It's which of the two sides is going to be able to provide it. It's never has been a match with the makings of being a high-scoring affair. Everything we anticipated from that regard is coming to fruition, but it's as good an England performance pretty much as we could have hoped for in the context of last weekend's. Radical improvement. Akanji put under pressure by Foden, goes back for Jan Sommer, controls it on the edge of the D, played out towards Akanji again, and Akanji works it into the feet of Embolo. Mainu has done well today and stopped Embolo turning. Ball's gone out for a throw to be taken on the Swiss left. Embolo scored in the last match that Swiss played against England back in 2022, one of 14 international goals that he's got, but they've only come at a rate of about 1 every 5 games, the Swiss centre-forward. Rodriguez has lost possession here to Foden. Foden almost able to turn it forward towards Bellingham. Just waiting for the ball to get there, it never did. Embolo can win it back and then bring it forward for the Swiss. And to the right-hand side of Embolo is Remo Freuler. Freuler plays it out to the right-hand side, level with the edge of the penalty area. An opportunity for Ndoye to try and take on his man. They doubled up on him really effectively there. Rice came across, aided Trippier, and Ndoye just passed it straight out of play for a goal kick. 6 to go to the break.
Yeah, good play there by Declan Rice. Slid over, just helped trip the wing back out a little bit. Needed help, and out he come. It's always good when you're holding midfield player, slides across and gives you a little bit of comfort from behind.
Pickford working it forward. Harry Kane. Flick it on past Rodriguez. Akanji to Sommer. Well, the Swiss will play out from the back inside their own penalty area here with 6 to go to the break. Everything just stops just for a moment. Paying lip service to the press, really. Akanji was hoping that he would be more engaged in that. Akanji turns away in dismay and just passes the ball back towards Jan Sommer. Switzerland will try again to engage England and try and force a press that they can play through.
This is how fluent the Swiss are. Arbisher has come from left wing back straight across the pitch, and he's arrived literally in a right back position to help the build.
Saka back to Kyle Walker, now to Pickford and out to Constant, and England stringing the passes together inside their own half, but Declan Rice, as he lost it, no, not quite, he nearly did. Mainu to Walker. It's in that kind of area that Rice had it there that England do still need to be more dynamic, and first thought's got to be a forward pass. Walker to Rice. Is it again? Rice turning, knocking it square for Walker. Walker getting it and just chipping a fight ball up towards Rice. He didn't win that in the air against the much shorter Vargas, and England have still maintained possession. Stones to Konsa. To back for Stones, almost like England having a collective breather here. This is much more reminiscent of the kind of passages of play that we have seen in this tournament so far. Just less of the dynamism that has been a highlight of England's early performances, unless England are trying to draw the Swiss on here. Mainu goes back for Pickford. Pickford side flips the ball out towards the corner flag, and Konsa will get there and hits it left-footed forward towards Harry Kane. Kanji climbing over Kane, wins it, but Rice picks up the seconds. Now Bellingham's got it. Bellingham with good quick feet, ended up going down to ground, but whilst it was off balance, good play in Trippier. Mainu has it. Mainu will be more inclined to try and drive forward, but seems to say that he knocks it square for Stones. To Walker, Foden dropping deep. Foden to Mainu and giving him the instruction to turn, and England can now get the ball out towards Jude Bellingham on the England left-hand side. 3.5 to go to half-time. Bellingham into Rice and straight back again. Bellingham into Mainu and straight back again. But the ball almost stationary in the midfield as Bellingham goes back for Stones, and now they can work it down towards Saka. Saka against Aebischer, as we've been saying, a battle that England are winning, but Saka reluctant to take him on this occasion, just goes back behind square, and England are going sideways at the moment. They're not going forward, not with any great alacrity anyway. Here's Declan Rice in the heart of the midfield. Back to Stones, the deepest of England's outfield players. Saka off the right flank to Mainu, to Walker. Switzerland just shuffling across, keeping the spaces short, denying England any room. Saka gets it, left-footed shot from him, not the best. It was blocked by Cher. Actually, in blocking it, might have caused more problems than had he let the shot go. Well, he goes out to play for an England throw on halfway.
That phase of play was probably the only phase of play I've seen from England where they didn't look as though they knew what they were trying to achieve, and it all started with Pickford. Ball come all the way back to him. He should have bypassed the press and gone straight into our forwards, played another short pass, and all of a sudden we were going nowhere.
As you say, that's the first time it's really felt like that. It has been possession with a purpose up to now, but the last 2 minutes haven't. Here's Rice down towards Walker. Nearly half of England's attacks have come down the right-hand side, but England just can't get Saka into the game at the moment. Sometimes he's cutting a pretty isolated figure. Foden, Rice, down the left-hand side, Konsa forward towards Trippier. It's only that far touchline that is now in sunlight, the rest of the ground in shadow. Foden, back out towards the England left. It's Foden again who picks it up, finds Bellingham. Foden and Bellingham on occasions have been really close to each other in previous games. We haven't seen quite as much of that today. They've both been fighting the same battle. Walker finding Stones. There's been 40 passes in this England move, and they've barely made 40 feet in the process. Saka to Walker. Walker to Foden. Foden to Declan Rice. As Rice picks it up, Reeder comes across. So Rice is forced to lay it back again for Kyle Walker. Walker now for Bukayo Saka. Saka trying to take on Aebischer, pokes it past him, gets inside the penalty area. As he pulled down, he almost put it on a plate for Mainu. It's cleared. Xhaka putting it out of play for a corner. England patient to the extreme, but Saka very nearly found Mainu in a goal-scoring position.
Yeah, it took an absolute eternity to get it to Saka, and it's demonstrated once again that Aebischer's absolutely no match to him. Even when you think he's in a decent defensive position, he manages to contrive to allow Saka to get the wrong side of him. Keep that up, young man.
Foden to take this corner. It's England's third without reply in the last seconds of the first half. Left-footed in-swinger easily claimed by Jan Sommer. A very disappointing set-piece delivery. And Sommer will ball the ball out. There might not be any need for any stoppage time at the end of this first half at all. The Swiss will bring it forward here on the counter-attack. Konsa's got to make sure that he times this well, and in the end didn't do anything, but in not doing anything that won the battle. So he just got in goal side of Vargas and was able to shepherd the ball over the line and out of play for a goal kick that there will be no time to take, no stoppage time at the end of the first 45 minutes. A much better 45 minutes from England, albeit that they haven't had a shot on target. Next to nothing to trouble Jordan Pickford at the other end. And half-time in Dusseldorf, it is England 0, Switzerland 0. Yep, you're absolutely right, Aid. Nothing on target. I think the counter-argument to that, though, is Switzerland, who've scored 7 goals in 4 games so far, have only had 1 attempt, and that was off target. So England's defensive resolution has been there. A couple of nervy moments at one stage in about a 5-minute spell of Swiss pressure. Ezri Konsa with a couple of important defensive touches in that time, Stones with another, and Pickford hasn't had a save to make as yet. We're back underway. Switzerland in two-tone red, going from left to right in this second half. England white shirts, dark blue shorts. They're attacking the end of the ground that houses the England support. No changes in personnel at half-time. Granit Xhaka is in possession, and he finds Ricardo Rodriguez. Rodriguez back for Akanji to Rodriguez again. And a couple of yards inside his own half. He swiftly plays the ball out towards the left and gets it back from Aebischer. Saka against Aebischer. The battle we were talking about in the first 45 minutes as being one of the major plus points for England. interesting to see if England can get Saka more heavily involved than they did in the last 10 minutes, because Abisha got let off the hook a little bit. Sommer will bring the ball out towards the edge of his own penalty area, drives it right foot, he's looking for Mbolo. Walker's going to get there first though, and he goes back to Jordan Pickford. I'm going to say alongside me for the second half, giving you and I his views, former England captain Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, as I say, we've got a very tightly balanced game at the moment. I think if I was Gareth, I'd be turning around and know my subs if we do go a goal down.
Here's Jude Bellingham, driving forward for England. Working inside the box, he almost found Kane by the penalty spot. Trippier has done really well to regain possession as the Swiss were tardy in getting it out. Bellingham curves it in towards the far post. Saka went up for it, knocked away by Vargas. Saka picks that up, left-footed shot. Was on target, blocked by Xhaka, and Mbolo tried to roll Walker, and Stones mops up at the back for England. That was excellent. More of the same needed. Mainu comes for Foden, back out towards Saka again. Switzerland just tardy in getting the ball clear, not once but twice, and England almost in a position to capitalise. Bellingham now to Kyle Walker. Walker plays down towards Bukayo Saka, coming in off that right flank onto his left foot. The fans away to our left-hand side in fine voice, encouraged by what they've seen in the early stage of the second half. Ball played in towards Kane, who just tried to pin his man back in and feed Foden. He couldn't quite. Comes down towards Konsa. Konsa bringing it forward towards Trippier. Good movement off the ball from Declan Rice, striding forward down the left-hand touchline. It's a little bit unlucky that a Swiss clearance hit his foot and allowed Ndoye the opportunity to get it away. And then Mbolo, Konsa has come to engage. Walker though with his pace just made sure that he was there and he can mop up. Surprised that the Swiss haven't made any changes. I don't think it'll be too long before substitutions made by Murat Yakin, as England are on top here. Foden goes out towards Saka, back for Foden. Foden trying to pirouette, couldn't do so with the ball, and Switzerland bring it away, getting it forward quickly. Good ball from Vargas, well cut out by Walkers, having his best game of the tournament so far. Saka running a couple of challenges, he was fouled, and takes a free kick quickly. Saka to Rice, to Stones, now to this near touchline, the England left-hand side for Ezri Konsa. Stuart, England have picked up where they left off at the end of the first half. If anything, it's been even better the opening 3 minutes of the second period.
Yeah, it's been a bright start. What we don't need to do is let them off the hook. We need to keep the tempo up, the pace up, and more importantly, the forward passing up.
Trippier heads one through the penalty area, be picked up by Jan Sommer. Sommer, vastly experienced goalkeeper. He's not too far short of 100 caps as well, the Inter Milan custodian. England just stopped in their tracks there, a foul on Vargas, who is writhing in pain 10 yards inside his own half. It was a poor challenge that came in. Daniele Osada not reaching for the yellow card though. It was a genuine attempt to win the ball by Kyle Walker, who just caught it. That's a free kick that the Swiss will take. 4 gone second half, 0-0 here on TalkSport.
Yeah, just nicked the back of the Swiss players, Vargas's heel, and certainly hurt him. He's stayed down for a fair while.
Well, England going from right to left, attacking the end of the ground that you're sitting at, Faye Carruthers. Faye?
Yeah, that attack just now from Jude Bellingham, the ball in. Harry Kane was really frustrated with him for it not being pinpoint right to him. He also had the option down the left-hand side of Kieran Trippier on the overlap, which maybe would have been the better cross into the box.
Thank you, Faye. Here's Rodriguez. Vargas is okay, he's back on his feet, making his way a little bit gingerly into England territory, but he's going to be able to continue. The Swiss have walked the ball from left to right to Cher and back for Sommer. 13 games between these two since the Swiss last beat England. The most recent success back in 1981 when Terry McDermott scored England's goal in a 2-1 defeat. The only time that Switzerland have beaten England in 76 years. I know, I shouldn't have mentioned it, but here's Akanji. Bringing the ball forward for the Swiss towards the edge of the centre circle. Goes to his left. Now towards Ricardo Rodriguez again. Rodriguez to Abisha. Back inside for Xhaka. Freuler. And a good run forward from Freuler. Xhaka has been able to slide him in. Now Embolo inside the penalty area. Can he get a shot in on the turn? He can. It's the first shot on target of the game. But it was nothing more than a pass back to Jordan Pickford. Slightly concerning the way that Freuler was able to break between the lines and get himself into a good position there. Also of concern, the fact that Ezri Konsa has stayed down as he was trying to put a challenge inside the penalty area on Embolo. Must have been a collision between the pair of them. Konsa down hurt.
I think he's been caught on the follow-through from the shot, from what I can gather. Embolo's done really well, received in the box, he's turned onto his right foot and then he's got a shot away, and the follow-through from the shot, I think, has hit Konsa straight on the kneecap, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Seeing the replay, you're absolutely right. Embolo kicking the ball with his right foot, and his right foot then went up to 3 feet or so and caught Ezri Konsa just underneath the left kneecap in the process. But he's all right, he's going to be able to continue. And Jordan Pickford just drops the ball on the edge of his own penalty area before driving one out towards the far touchline for Saka. Saka losing out. The Swiss working all the way back for Sommer, who's in all yellow, and he will play the ball forward towards the edge of his own penalty area. Xhaka to Rodriguez. Declan Rice letting the ball away through the midfield. Foden does well, comes to meet it, just pops it off towards Kobbie Mainoo. Saka, was he onside or offside? Clip the ball back in. Xhaka will clear. Now the flag comes up, I think correctly, but it's a very late flag for this as the referee over on the far touchline. A free kick to Switzerland.
Yeah, as I say, it was offside, but the linesman knew that from the offset. I really don't understand this ruling when they know it's absolutely cast iron.
What do England need to do more of? How can they get Saka isolated against Aebischer more frequently? Because he dribbled past him on 4 occasions in the first 45 minutes. It's more than one player has beaten another in any half during Euro 2024.
Well, what you've got to do is supply them nice and early. There was an instance earlier that Phil Foden had the ball and he dribbled it, when he could have played it to Saka and said, you get on with the work. And if you want, what else can we do? If you're really going to be forthright on this, then the sub is Trippier for one of our offence-minded wide players. But I'm not sure Gareth will be doing that while the score stays as is.
Konsa has been fouled by Embolo. And England take a free kick. They go back inside their own half. Walker playing it forward. Here is Saka. But he'd taken the ball on the half turn. He couldn't have a run at Aebischer on that occasion. So he's played it back to the yellow-booted Walker on the right of England's 3 centre-halves. Remember, this is the first time that England have played with a back 3 since October 2022 from the start of the game. It's worked well. It's brought the best out of them going forward, and defensively they've been sound. Saka trying to drive it forward. Rodriguez doubling up with Aebischer, puts it out of play for a throw. Taken over on that far touchline. 9 minutes into the second half. And we're taking the throw, looking for Foden. Kanji will get there first and find Cher. Cher getting it clear. It's a good ball forward as well. Vargas can bring it down. Now Walker's been able to get back goal side, and England now have 7 back behind the ball. But just for a moment as Xhaka loses possession, it looks as though it could be a devastating counter-attack. Foden did really well. He covered a lot of ground and won it back from Granit Xhaka, and England end up getting a throw over on the far touchline as Mainoo played a dynamic ball up the touchline looking for Bukayo Saka.
I mean, Kyle Walker should take a lesson there from what nearly caught him out. The players spun in behind him and got goal side. Kyle Walker, just prior to that, had the ball at his feet on maybe 5-10 seconds, and not once did he look for the furthest ball forward. He's always looking sideways and inside.
England took a throw over on the far touchline with Walker, and the referee spotted something wrong. He didn't like it. It was a horrible throw from Walker to try to throw it in towards Rice. Rice was second favourite to get there first alongside Reader. No damage done. The throw's going to have to be retaken. Rice probably would have got away with it anyway, but it was just a horrible looking moment. Walker eventually does take the throw in towards Harry Kane. Kane's lost out towards Akanji and actually has fouled him. It'll be a free kick that will be taken by the Swiss. Akanji playing it forward and hits the referee with it. Too much the ref could do about that. big grin on his face. So possession will be given back to the Swiss with the drop ball on halfway.
I've got to say the referee got on the half turn brilliantly there, to be honest with you.
Just
Fantastic
get it into his
first
stride.
touch. Exactly.
Very quick to apologise, Daniele Osato. Play resumes, Embolo back for Xhaka. Xhaka to Rodriguez. 10 minutes into the second half, it's still 0-0. Rodriguez clipping it in, Embolo trying to get a header in. He very nearly got the better of Konsa. Konsa did enough to stop him getting clean contact, and Pickford could come out and do the rest.
Absolutely top quality ball in there from Rodriguez, and both players diving full stretch, managed to sort of ricochet the ball off each other, and it just dropped into the grateful arms of Pickford.
There's a header from Embolo which hit Konsa on the nape of the back as he dived in, and that took the pace out of it. Bobbled safely through for Jordan Pickford. So still 0-0. Shots on target very much at a premium here. But still, just to reiterate the point, if you're joining us, England much, much better today. For the show for it as yet. Rice to Foden. Foden inside the centre circle to try to hand side for Jude Bellingham. Bellingham back out towards Saka, and now Saka can take on Abisha again. Takes a touch, pulls it back for Jude Bellingham. Bellingham bypassing Foden to feed Declan Rice. Didn't fancy just working it out towards Kieran Trippier, so he's gone back behind square towards halfway again for Konsa. Konsa to Stones, and Stones can come forward 10 yards or so. Phil Foden's in central midfield, straight ball forward from him. Trippier with a diving headed pass towards the penalty spot looking for Kane. Cleared by the Swiss back line, and then chipped out of play by Reader for a throw that will be taken in an advanced position by Kieran Trippier, but he took it too far forward. He's been told by the referee he's got to come back 6 or 7 yards. Better again from England though. Just wonder what changes or potential changes will be going through Gareth Southgate's mind. Tony for Kane, I wonder?
Well, that might well look the obvious one at the moment. The rest of it, you know, it's a big gamble, if you like, bringing Trippier off. If you're really going for the game, you do that, and you put a wide player on who can actually dip past someone on this side of the pitch. The rest of the players are doing okay.
Walker to Saka. Back out for Bukayo Saka again. Abisha faces him up. Saka trying to chip it inside the penalty area. Couldn't feed Mainu. Just got it wrong there, Bukayo Saka, on that occasion. He's hardly put a foot wrong so far. Now Switzerland will break quickly. Konsa having to go up through the gears. It's played past him. Here's Vargas inside the penalty area. Back out for Dan Ndoye. England have got 5 back. Ndoye, Reader, blocked. Cross from him. It hits Declan Rice and goes out of play for Switzerland's first corner of the day.
Well, you can't separate these two sides. On that occasion, Switzerland's went through the gears there on the turnover and the counter-attack. Konsa done well getting there quickly enough just to slow the attack down.
There's a high-fiving pass in between Akanji and Ndoye as Akanji makes his way forward to be one of 3 players in the far post area to attack this corner for Switzerland. There are 2 standing over the corner itself, although it is now going to be Vargas that will take it. Reader has departed the scene. He's offering himself for the short one. Saka's keeping a weather eye on that, but this surely is going to be fired inside the box. And most of the players that are in the penalty area are standing towards the bottom left-hand corner of the penalty area as we look at it, so that's towards the far post. Now they make various runs inside the penalty area. It is worked short. Saka comes out, puts the pressure on Reader. Back towards Rodriguez, chipped over the top, ended away by the retreating Saka. They'll do it all again as Switzerland get corner number 2.
Well done, Bukayo Saka there. Done his defensive duties well. Brilliant play, to be quite honest with you. Quite often it would have been easy for him to switch off. He didn't do that. He come out with the ball, with the play, and then drop back in, and had to give a corner away, but vital defending.
In front of the passionate Swiss fans, this corner will be taken. It's going to be another left-footed in-swinging delivery towards the near post, and well swept clear by Jude Bellingham, and out of play for a throw this time, taken by Reader. Back for Xhaka. Xhaka immediately put under pressure. by Jude Bellingham. Ball goes back for Rodriguez. Foden engages in the press. Ball's played back for Sommer. Sommer out towards Xhaka. Xhaka to Vargas, and Trippier stops him. Knows how to play for a throw. Just the odd fleeting, isolated glimpse, though, in the last 5 minutes of what Switzerland can offer when they mix it up coming forward. And now they've got round the back again. They get to the dead ball line, played it towards the edge of the 6-yard box, looking for Embolo. Walker was there to clear. It was a decent ball in. And England able to win the seconds and get it away. Vargas beginning to cause a few problems down the Swiss right. Cher will come forward now. Vargas for Remo Freuler. Freuler away from Harry Kane. Back for Vargas again. Right-footed cross is deflected. Foden comes back to the edge of his own penalty area, and his touch was slightly askew. Cher was almost able to take it on. And Switzerland recycle it and play it back towards halfway. The Swiss are going to be making a double change very shortly, and we're going to be seeing Widmer and Zuber come on. Murat Yakin shakes the hand of the pair of them. The Swiss coach is giving his final instructions. Surprised that Widmer didn't start this game, the right wing back. He may well be coming on for Ndoye. They could move Ndoye up front and take Embolo off. We'll find out in a moment. Here's Vargas, right hand side of the penalty area. 17 gone in the second half. It's 0-0 here on TalkSport. Switzerland still stringing the passes together. Jordan Pickford berating his defenders, wanting them to hold a higher line on the edge of the penalty area, which they now are. Harry Kane just standing, paying or watching brief for a moment. It's been worked past him by Cher. Here's Ndoye. Can he get himself into a shooting position? He can't. And he couldn't tee up Rodriguez. Could he put it on his weaker foot? Rodriguez forced to cycle it wide, and then he comes back in. Mainu won it, stepping up from the defensive line. And Kane, trying to bring the ball out, is fouled by Aebischer. Free kick that he bought, knew that he had few options ahead of him, so he invited the contact and made sure the referee realised what it came. Free kick to England inside their own half.
Yeah, the Swiss are the first ones to blink here on the substitutes bench.
Vargas and Rieder are the two players that are coming off. Vargas had a really good 5 minutes. He's one of the players being withdrawn, so the two inside forwards are coming off, and they're going to be bringing on a right back in Widmer. That will see Ndoye push forward into a more advanced position, and they're also bringing on Steven Zuber, who came on as a left winger against Italy, a player who's got a World Cup goal against Brazil on his CV. He's done football in Greece these days. He's had bad injury problems, but he's come on as well. So Ndoye is now playing on the right-hand side, Zuber on the left. They're the new inside forwards in behind Embolo. England still haven't made a change. 19 gone in the second half here in Düsseldorf at 0-0. Saka playing it back for Walker. Walker goes square to his left-hand side for Declan Rice. Rice bringing it forward towards halfway. Reminder that later on, we'll find out who the winners of this tie are going to be playing in the semi-finals. It's the Dutch against Turkey in Berlin. It kicks off on TalkSport 2. That's TalkSport 2 at 8 o'clock for today's second quarter-final. Trippier to Phil Foden. Foden getting round the back. Left-footed ball chipped inside the penalty area. Bellingham coming onto it, and it was knocked away from him and out of play for a corner. The Swiss are claiming that the last touch didn't come off Zuber, but came off Bellingham, but a corner has been given.
Brilliant play there. John Stones bisecting the lines with a great ball. Foden getting turned. England thought they had a corner. They've sat up for a corner. They've ended up giving a Swiss goal kick. But great play, really good. Got numbers in the box as well.
Well, the referee originally gave a corner. The assistant referee gave a corner, but somebody got the decision correct. And it was overturned, and it is going to be a goal kick. It was Bellingham got the last touch on that. Switzerland will be able to play it out from the back. A reminder that whoever wins this quarter-final will be in semi-final action live on TalkSport in Dortmund on Wednesday night. It's the second semi-final, the first in Munich, Tuesday night, Spain against France. And the build-up starts at 7, ahead of an 8 o'clock kickoff on TalkSport for both of those semi-finals. The final Sunday in Berlin. We've got that one covered for you as well. Could England possibly be there? At the moment, the answer is yes, they could possibly be there. Xhaka knocking it square. Rodriguez will come onto it, corner of the penalty area, and he fires a cross in. Consa's there to meet it. His clearance high up in the air, and then a right-footed effort from the edge of the penalty area, who's never likely to dip in time. Aebischer firing it into the Swiss fans rather than the English net. It remains 0-0, 20 gone in the second half.
I'll tell you what England have done well, got first contacts on balls in the box between the post. Konsa on that occasion, he's certainly been, he's managed to do that during the game, and we've ended up scurrying it clear. I think Pickford may have come and claimed it potentially, but no harm done.
Trippier gets it forward. Jude Bellingham coming to meet it. Mainu back towards Rice. Is it fair to say Bellingham's influence is less substantial in the second half than it was in the first?
Yeah, that would be fair to say. You know, I think he's had a decent game, to be fair to him. He's been part and parcel of everything that's gone on. And Harry Kane's just copped a booking, I think, for a stray arm.
Well, the ball was played forward. Kane tried to roll his man on halfway as he swung an arm around and caught Akanji just round the left ear, and Kane is booked. Now, he's not one of the England players in the starting lineup who's on a yellow card. That's his first of the tournament. Harry Kane caution, the first England player to have his name taken today.
That was a tough one. I think there was some grappling by Akanji first off, and Harry Kane's just sort of pushed him aside as such.
Still no movement on the England bench, Stuart.
No, indeed. And as I say, probably the most vulnerable one you would say to be interchanged will be Harry Kane, you know, to offer somebody slightly different up front, but I'm not seeing that forthcoming. So, but everybody else, reasonably, I'm not sure that I would take Trippier off at this moment in time to get a more attack-minded player on in that sort of area.
Midway through the second half of regulation time here on TalkSport. It is still 0-0. Rodriguez, long straight ball over the top. Zuba chasing goal side of Walker for a moment. He's done well to flick it up with his left foot and work it back here for Dan Ndoye. Ndoye turning dangerously inside the penalty area. Kane back with a brilliant challenge, and he's going to be able to play his way out from the back. Or he should be able to play his way out from the back. Yes, he can. Fires it upfield. Magnificent defending from the England captain. Because if Dan Ndoye had been able to pull the trigger there, England had problems. But Kane covered a lot of ground, got back there in the nick of time, and did the centre-half's job for them. But it's the Swiss fans will be encouraged by the last 5 minutes or so. The changes have been positive. Xhaka to Akanji. Akanji is midway between the halfway line and the edge of the penalty area. Popping it off to his right-hand side. Fabian Schär has it now. Moving from Aebischer from the left wing back position again out of the right wing. Such is the fluidity about these Swiss attacks. But England so far have, by and large, been able to deal with those effectively. It's the Swiss that have only had the only shot on target in this game so far. So 20 minutes of normal time to go. Akanji for Embolo. Konsa trying to stop him turning. Embolo pulling it back here for Granit Xhaka. Xhaka square to his left-hand side for Akanji. Back out to the left-hand touchdown for Ricardo Rodriguez. Poke down the line for Ndoye. Ndoye giving Kyle Walker something different to think about since he's come on. Challenge comes in from Bukayo Saka. Foden is in there as well. He's now been fouled. And it's a free kick to England in their right-back position with 20 to go.
Walker's had a couple of scary moments, a couple of balls in behind him that he's used his pace to get out of trouble, and on that occasion just got too tight, just got turned, and Ndoye just got away from him, and fortunately for him, Saka helped him out.
So it is a different dynamic now with the changes that have been made. Ndoye and Zuba alternating positions really in behind Embolo, and Walker hasn't had that sort of direct opponent running at him too frequently, but he has now. England get a free kick inside their own half and work it swiftly out from right to left. Bellingham has it. There's no ball forthcoming inside the penalty area initially. It's back from Bellingham to Trippier. Declan Rice. England have got to make sure that in an attacking capacity they don't lose their way here. We were more than happy to praise the purposeful nature and intent of England's passing in the first half, but that hasn't really been replicated from about the 50-55 minute mark onwards. Here's Phil Foden now. His left-footed ball clips inside the penalty area, bounces behind Kane, volleyed high up in the air by Abisha. Saka might get to the loose ball first, but Zuber is back there. Saka's done well to win the second. Xhaka, though, can chip it clear from inside his own penalty area. He is still shading possession, having twice as many shots, but they haven't had one on target. Increasingly dangerous, and Ndoye makes his way up the left-hand touchline, and the referee has said it's come off Embolo and gone out of play for a throw. A throw that England have taken quickly. 18 minutes of normal time to go.
The momentum is swinging from team to team as this game goes on, and you can probably tell who's got the momentum just by the fans that are singing. If the England fans are singing, their team have got it, and we just wrestled momentum back from the Swiss and shut them up slightly.
Bellingham to Mainly to Walker, out towards Saka. Saka trying to engage with Abisha again. Zuber coming back to double up. They have stopped Saka more effectively. Foden can clip the ball inside the penalty area. He's looking for Kieran Trippier. Trippier battling, letting the ball run out of play after it took a touch off substitute Vidmar. There's a throw that will be taken by Kieran Trippier into the feet of Jude Bellingham. Bellingham getting it back, working back for Declan Rice. Rice to Foden and back for Rice again. Kieran Trippier down the left hand side, it's a good ball. Bellingham's going to get there, down by the dead ball line. Trying to trick his way past Xhaka. Committed once and twice, and when he fires it in, it's deflected. And then Xhaka, in trying to get there, as the ball bounced high up in the air, ducked his head in bravely, but knowing that if Bellingham made any attempt to play the ball, Xhaka was bound to get a free kick for a raised boot, and that's exactly how it transpired.
Yeah, he used all his experience there, Xhaka. The ball was bouncing, he just shoved his head in. Nothing potentially, just drew the referee's attention that his foot was in the air.
Well, he went down holding his head, Granit Xhaka. He did get hit on the head, but it was by the ball, it wasn't by Bellingham's foot. Bellingham's foot was high. There's a free kick that will be taken by the Swiss in the right back position. 17 minutes to go. They beat Switzerland at Euro 2004. Drew 1-1 with them in the opening game of Euro 96. Also met in the Nations League in a game that went to penalties. I think that was 0-0 after 120 minutes that day in Guimarães. This one could be 0-0 after 120 as well. It's 0-0 at the moment. We played 74. The Swiss are in possession, but they still haven't got past the edge of their own penalty area. They will now share. It's a lovely crossfield ball. It's pinged it from the right corner of the penalty area right out to the left-hand touchline with pace and accuracy. Xhaka gets it for him. Dropping back to meet it, Dan Ndoye. Ndoye out towards Abisha. Abisha for Xhaka. Xhaka near the edge of the centre circle. Running forward in the centre circle as he picks up possession. Still no sign of any movement on the England bench. 74 on the clock. Xhaka coming forward again. Just pops the ball to his left-hand side for Abisha. Gets the return pass. Kanji can come forward. Can he get into shooting range? He can't, but he can feed Cher. Cher with a drop of the shoulder beats his Newcastle teammate Kieran Trippier. Then a good ball in from Ndoye, and it's tapped into the far post. It's Embolo that gives Switzerland the lead, and that might be the moment. On a day when chances have been few and far between, it's Murat Yakin's men that strike first, and England, for the second time in 6 days, find themselves in the final 15 minutes desperately searching an equaliser to stay in the competition. 1-0 Switzerland, and that is a bitter blow.
Well, England just taking a breather and a rest at the really wrong time there, defending the edge of their box, and two players just followed the ball, slight deflection, and to be honest with you, it was a scruffy goal, but England switched off and have paid the penalty. Gareth Southgate, as I thought, you've got to have the substitutes up your sleeve straight away. We have no time. We're in the danger zone now, Jim, and it looks like Palmer, it looks like, is that Eze down there? I think Shaw's coming on as well, potentially.
So a triple change is imminent. It's an excellent ball inside the penalty area from Ndoye through the legs of Konsa, and it took a nick off Stones on the edge of the 6-yard box, and that fell invitingly for Embolo. He puts the ball in for Switzerland. Last time that these two sides met, Embolo scored first, but England won. Will they be able to mastermind the turnaround again? They need to. 14 minutes to go. Kieran Trippier pulls the ball back. Jude Bellingham to John Stones. That's one of the biggest goals potentially in Swiss football history. Might be the one that takes them to their first ever major semi-final. England haven't made the changes yet. They will do so in a moment. Ball in from Bellingham, diving heading clearance, back outside the penalty area. Fittler gets it clear for Trippier. Trippier to right, back for Kieran Trippier again. Trippier working back through the midfield for John Stones. We're going to see Eze and Palmer and Luke Shaw, who hasn't kicked a ball since February the 18th. That's the triple change that will be made in a moment. Ball inside the Swiss penalty area. Mainu scooping it with the heel of his right foot past Rodriguez, but straight into the hands of Jan Sommer. And if he can keep a clean sheet from here, England are out. Until the ball goes out of play, England can't make the changes that are necessary. Sommer clears from inside his own penalty area. High ball driven forward. The goal scorer Embolo laying it off. Declan Rice is in there. One back by Zuba. Zuba to Abisha. Abisha for Granit Xhaka. England still without a single shot on target today. Xhaka coming forward. Just ran into Declan Rice, and the loose ball goes out of play, and the changes can be made. So who are the three that are going to be coming off? Trippier, you would imagine, will be one of them. The first number up, though, is that of Kobbie Mainoo. Shaw for Mainoo. Now Trippier's number is up as well. Eze coming on for him. And Cole Palmer is the last England player coming on, and it's Jude Bellingham who makes way. Bellingham turning away, saw his number come up and turned away and walked into the centre circle. You need to get yourself off. Your numbers come up.
No, they've made a mistake with the number, I'm pretty sure. Steve Holland's waving his concept.
So they put the 10 up, and Bellingham knew that that didn't make any sense. So Konsa is off. Bellingham stays on. It was an administrative error. Trippier, Mainoo and Konsa off. Shaw, Eze and Palmer are on. A triple change made with 12 minutes to go. We're in the last 12 minutes of England's European Championship campaign, unless they can find an equalising goal. What are your thoughts on those changes?
Well, we look as though, and I'm not 100% sure on this, we look as though we're probably keeping the three at the back. Luke Shaw being the left-sided of the three. The subs had to be made quickly. I said that earlier. You had to have the subs in your mind already.
Bellingham getting it wide. Here's Bukayo Saka coming forward for England as they look for a swift equaliser. Ball towards Walker on the overlap. It's cleared by Abisha, and a play for an England throw. Throw that will be taken over on the far touchline by Kyle Walker. I wonder whether they might have gone to a 4 with Shaw at centre half alongside Stones and Walker at right back.
Yep,
Eze at left wing back. It's hard to work it out definitively at the moment whilst England have possession. It'll be clearer when they have it. Stones coming out through the centre circle. Now down towards Cole Palmer. Palmer's got Eze ahead of him. Palmer controls it, works it back infield to Ndoye. Bellingham to his right hand side for Rice. 10 minutes for England to save themselves. We've been here before. Eze to Jude Bellingham again. Bellingham sending it square across the edge of the penalty area for Declan Rice. Now towards the right hand side of the box for the impressive Saka. Saka working it in, left footed shot! It's in off the post! And England are back on level terms within 6 minutes! He deserves it! It's a big, big moment again. Saka cutting it onto his left foot, firing it across the face of Sommer, in off the post. It's 1-1. Great character shown from England, and they're back on level terms in the blink of an eye.
Absolutely top quality there by Saka. He is the one who's most likely to break this deadlock for England, certainly in the first half, not so much the second. Come inside there, they let him open the goal up, and he's curled one off the far post into the back of the net. Game on now.
Oh, it's a brilliant finish. I mean, the kiss off the post was essential, but it is a majestic strike from Bukayo Saka. His 12th international goal, his 4th in tournament football, having got 3 at the World Cup. England's first shot on target. It's taken 80 minutes for it to arrive. When it does arrive, it's a crucial moment. So we're all square again. 1-1. 10 minutes of normal time to go. Cher striding forward. Rice in there with an important challenge. Referee trying to get out of the way. Rice will push it forward towards Kane. Saka in space on the right. Kane with a lovely crossfield ball to find him. As Saka brings it down on the right-hand touchline. Kills it with his left foot. Comes back for Declan Rice again. Rice in a central position. To his left-hand side for Luke Shaw. Shaw. Back for Palmer. Palmer. Excellent ball down the line. Shaw wrapping his left foot around it. It's headed away. Eza then doing well to stop Ndoye making a swift run forward. Switzerland get a throw in the right back position. It's often the way when there's a quick exchange of goals, the side that score the equaliser have a massive psychological advantage.
Well, it certainly looks like that. England are on the front foot at the moment. I hope they stay that way. I reckon I'd love to see us go chasing this game now. I think the Swiss will struggle if we do, but it could be a long way to go in this one, Jim, with plenty of football to play.
Fidler clears, ball's out of play for a throw, taken quickly by Palmer. Palmer back for Eza. Eza to Stones. Stones getting it forward here for Declan Rice. Rice goes out towards Saka on the right-hand touchline. Kane waiting in the middle. Foden and Bellingham are both there as well. Good movement off the ball. Can he do it again? Saka teasing it in. Palmer trying to get there. Kane with a shot on the turn. That was blocked. Xhaka could bring it away from the edge of his own penalty area. Getting it forward towards Embolo. Switzerland could be a menace on the counter-attack, and England are committing plenty of bodies forward. They conceded a free kick. Xhaka chipping a straight ball forward, and Shaw has read it brilliantly. It was almost 3 against 1, and Shaw covered so much ground to head the ball away. Boy, have we missed him.
Well, listen, he covered it brilliantly, but I think he was the one playing them onside on the potential run on that one. But listen, we've got a game and a half on our hands now. This has set fire to it, these 2 goals.
Let's go back pitch side and speak to our England correspondent, Faye Carruthers.
The fans behind me are going absolutely mad. I've got beer soaked all over my jacket and everywhere else. When that goal went in, we had a perfect view of it, and it came in just off the far post. Brilliant goal from Bukayo Saka, and it sent the England fans mental.
Xhaka will bring the ball out from the back for Switzerland. 6 minutes to go. Rodriguez. Ndoye taking more advanced positions now, trying to get between Walker and Stones. So when England are out of possession, it is a back 5. 3 centre halves, Walker, Stones and Shaw. Saka at right wing back and Eza at left wing back.
Yeah, they've kept that 3 at the back. Until he's done well for the Swiss today, Xhaka, I've got to say. I think he's been instrumental in everything that they've done.
Fine performance, had a really good tournament. Ball inside the penalty area from Rodriguez. Shaw with a defensive header. Handed away. Cole Palmer can bring it forward. Palmer motoring forward towards halfway, getting the better of Fidler, keeping possession as the challenges come in. Fidler gets a yellow card. He fouled Palmer, who did his best to make the referee allow him to go on. England then wanted to take a free kick quickly. The referee said, I'm not ready yet, because he's still writing his name down. So Fidler's booked. It's his 3rd yellow card of the tournament, and Shaw will take a free kick. I was needs must bring in Luke Shaw on. Have you got concerns about his fitness, bearing in mind he hasn't kicked a ball since the 3rd week of February?
I think you must have, Jim, to be quite honest with you. This is some game and some time to come onto a football pitch for him. There's no doubt, with the lack of football that he's had in such a long period, you know. But listen, he's got the experience to get through it.
First cap for England since June the 19th of last year. Did score in the last match against the Swiss. England turned it around, as I mentioned, having gone 1-0 down. Shaw equalised, and Kane scored the winner from the penalty spot 12 minutes from time. It was 10 minutes from time when Saka equalised tonight. Now got 4.5 minutes of normal time to go here on Talk Sport. 1-1 here in Düsseldorf. Foden has played the ball down towards Palmer. Palmer straight at the tempo of the game immediately after coming on, as he has in all of these substitute appearances that he's made. Shaw, good 1-2 with Foden. Shaw using his body cleverly to beat the tiring Ndoye. Rice can bring it forward. Eza coming in to meet him. Trying to take the ball away from Akanji, stepped up from the defensive line. Ezra into the feet of Foden, gets it straight back again. Now it goes towards Rice, out towards the right-hand side for Bukayo Saka. 4 to go, England looking for a winner here. Back from Saka towards the edge of the penalty area. Bellingham getting it out underneath his feet, but not into a shooting position. I guess the second bite of the cherry thanks to Rice. Feeds Saka, flipped inside the penalty area, but too much on it. Sailed over everybody and goes out of play for a Switzerland throw.
Really unfortunate there. Saka's just got too much on that cross. Should have just dinked it up to the far post. I think that's what he was attempting to do. Declan Rice done brilliantly to sustain the attack in that phase. We've got some technicians on the pitch now, it's fair to say, Jim, haven't we? You know, with Eza and Palmer and Foden.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We'll cross the bridge when we come to it, of England's ability to sit on a lead. We'll take the lead first. I might have reservations about how easy that would be, but as I say, let's cross that bridge when we come to it. 3 minutes of normal time to go. The ball has gone out for a throw, which will be taken on the England left by Luke Shaw. Palmer and Freuler have been antagonising each other ever since the former came onto the field. I might just take a little bit of watching. Stones working the ball through the centre circle towards Walker. Saka is over on the England right, still causing problems. Played in now by Bellingham. The return ball goes back for the guy to go and out towards Walker. Walker, fall for Saka again, back for Kyle Walker. Walker striding forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Feeds Phil Foden. Foden clipping it left-footed. It bounces on the corner of the box. Eza's got it now. Shaw coming forward in support for him. That's creating space for Eza, who drills a shot in towards the near post, but wide. Back even wide of the side netting.
Now, this is what you get. This is what we've been missing with Luke Shaw. Brilliant overlap, took 2 men with him. Eza come inside, opened the goal up for him brilliantly. He's gone for power instead of placement. Far post curler would have been the option.
Yeah, if you could have mirrored Bukayo Saka's shot from the other side of the penalty area from a similar position, but he couldn't. That shot from Saka is first on target at the Euros. 5.5 minutes between the two goals. England's response was excellent. They're on top as the game comes towards the 90-minute mark. And they have a free kick here on the left-hand touchline, which Eza will take. Referee showing the whistle to Phil Foden. Eza has walked away from the scene. So Foden will take this. Set up here to be a big moment for England. Foden standing over it. Stones, Kane, Rice, Saka, all near the penalty spot. Can Phil Foden get the delivery right? We're in the 90th minute. What a time this will be for England to take the lead. Raises his right arm above his head, swings it in too close to Sommer, but Sommer couldn't catch that. Was forced to punch it clear, and does so out towards Saka. Back in from Palmer. Bellingham made a run behind the defensive line, but the ball not quite deep enough to find him, and it could set up a Switzerland counter-attack. Embolo making his way through the middle, and the ball is with Ndoye. Push forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Zuber is in there. The shot, when it does come in, skies into the Switzerland support. And by the time the goal kick is taken, we'll be in 3 minutes of added time.
Yeah, this game's nicely balanced. It looks as though England have got the ascendancy in the game, but one breakaway, one chance, and at this moment I'm thinking as we approach the 90th minute, both teams and both managers with 3 minutes overtime to play will be happy to go into extra time.
Confirmation of those 3 additional minutes. Well, England scored a stoppage time goal in Gelsenkirchen last weekend. If they can score a stoppage time goal here, it'll be a place in the semi-finals, you would imagine. Akanji to share, back inside his own penalty area for Sommer. Foden quickly there to apply the pressure. Sommer can chip it out towards the far touchline for Rodriguez. Rodriguez square towards Xhaka. Rodriguez continues his run forward off the ball down the left-hand touchline. Xhaka went instead for Akanji. Xhaka gets it back again now. Metronomic presence in the heart of the Swiss midfield. He has been excellent again. Can England make sure he's on the losing side? Rodriguez plays it back for Xhaka. Rodriguez making his way towards the edge of the penalty area. Clever step over from Freuler. Goal for either side now surely means elimination for the other. Cher, 25 yards outside the penalty area. Low ball in, Stones very deliberately slices it clear, finds touch, goes out of play for a Swiss throw.
And Bolo done brilliantly there. He pinned Luke Shaw, but the ball into his feet was wayward, and he's absolutely livid that the ball wasn't delivered better.
Cher finds Freud. Akanji, Xhaka. England just forced to sit back for a moment. Potentially dangerous times here. The cowbell amongst the Swiss supporters audible. Switzerland attacking that end of the ground. There's almost a hush about the England fans, just a nervous tension permeating. We've got a minute of stoppage time to go before we go to extra time. Space on the Switzerland right for Cher. Good delivery inside the penalty area, flying header completely missed. And then a right-footed shot from Zuber is high and wide, and that was a massive chance.
I'll tell you what, Jim, I think his teammate and Bolo has got a nick on that that's took it off his head, I think.
Oh, he has. That's a brilliant defensive header from Mbolo. It's done England a massive favour. She had a Doy coming in behind him, and he's throwing himself at it, and all of a sudden the flight path changed right in front of him. And England benefiting from that. It was a real lucky break.
Yeah, listen, you don't dive forward like that and miss the ball totally. There had to be an outside influence, fortunately for England.
Pickford taking the goal kick. Kane flicking it on. Bellingham getting there, heading it on, but it's cleared by Abisher, forward towards halfway, and that will be that. England, if they're going to do it, are going to do it through extra time or penalties again. Mbolo on 75, Saka on 80, we've played 90, it's 1-1. And although England have 3 changes left at their disposal, we're not seeing any of them yet. The Swiss actually can still make another 4.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the utilisation of the subs, obviously with penalties looming, Jim. Ivan Toney on the bench, we know his prowess from the penalty spot, but certainly his impact the other night.
Well, Daniele Orsato, the referee, has got the players into position, and he's just ready for the signal from the television official on this near side to get us underway. He's got that now. It will be Switzerland kicking from right to left, as they did in the first half of the game. This is the 5th quarter-final that England have played in European Championship history, and it's the 4th of those 5 to go to extra time. England beating Spain in 1996, losing on penalties to Portugal in 2004, to Italy in 2012, and then seeing off Ukraine in the 2020 event 3 years ago in a match in Rome, where England were excellent that night and the Ukrainians just didn't turn up. England have been much improved today, but only 1 shot on target in 90 minutes, allowing the Swiss only 6 opportunities at the other end. Switzerland bringing the ball forward here with Xhaka. Xhaka to Rodriguez. Rodriguez back for Xhaka again in English territory. And Rodriguez back for Xhaka. His yellow captain's armband around his left arm. Back from him to Akanji. Akanji to the right-hand side for Remo Freuler. To Akanji again. Switzerland dominating possession in the early moments of this first period of extra time. Rodriguez taking the ball back inside his own half very briefly. And now Xhaka is going to be able to bring it on again to Zuba, to Aebischer. Aebischer with a little wall pass into Ndoye. Now out towards the right-hand side. The cross is a miss-hit slice from Cher. Eze was slow to get there. And Cher hurriedly fired it, and he fired it over Pickford's bar.
Tell you what, we were very fortunate there that Cher decided to take that on first time. Never ever in a million years was that the right thing to do. Luckily for England, and he's mishit it. If he takes a touch there, he can curl it in behind our back line.
Haven't seen so much of Phil Foden and Jude Bellingham since the 50-minute mark. Southgate will be ruminating over further potential changes. He's got the likes of Gordon and Bowen that he can bring on if he needs to. Tony and Watkins as well. Bolo back towards halfway for Rodriguez. Rodriguez to Akanji inside the centre circle.
I think the key at the moment, Jim, is at present the Swiss have got the ball, they've got the momentum of pushing forward. We've got to wrestle that back off them and as quickly as possible. Don't let them get in any form of rhythm.
And how do England best go about doing that?
Well, it's certainly pressing that a little bit harder. They have to find a little bit more energy, try and stop the ball going into the Swiss country, within the Swiss country, the big cheese Xhaka, who's setting the tempo of this play.
Not too many holes in the midfield amongst those big cheeses. Foden has gone down hurt here. He's back on his feet, hobbling away for a moment. Stones can find Declan Rice. Rice goes out to the England left-hand side for Eze. It's not particularly strength-sapping conditions. It's unseasonably cool here in Dusseldorf on the banks of the Rhine in western Germany, but I do wonder whether it's the time for more fresh legs to come on. Bellingham back through the midfield finding Stones.
It's not just the legs. I'm looking at Eze there. Didn't get advanced up the pitch enough and playing at a walking pace. Now he's just come on to inject a little bit of energy and life. He's one of the fresh ones.
We're Talk Sport. First of our double bill of quarterfinals today. Coming up, we'll find out who will be playing the winners of this. Netherlands against Turkey in Berlin. It's on TalkSport 2 from 8 o'clock. Stones receiving the ball from his one-time Everton teammate Jordan Pickford. Now Stones given the licence to push forward, can get between the lines, finds Cole Palmer. Palmer getting the ball out from underneath his feet. He can bring it forward, running towards the edge of the penalty area. Slight stumble, but no impediment to him. He's able to maintain possession. He's played the ball back for Luke Shaw. Shaw to Palmer again. Palmer trying to take it on inside the penalty area, feeding Eze. Eze clipping it in daintily, and Rodriguez clears. Right-footed effort from distance. Well saved. Rice firing it in. Sommer dived to his left. Strong hand tipped it round the post. Better from England, but a good start.
Yeah, it was better. We just need to inject a little bit of energy in our play. And as I say, I'm not asking players that have been on the pitch for a long time. The likes of Eze's just got to play with a little bit more oomph and zest about his play, I think. Great strike as well. Good save by the Cat.
So the second shot on target that England have had. The first was the goal. Eze's going to take the corner. England's fifth. First that either side of one in extra time. Eze sending it in deep towards the penalty spot. A strange delivery, bearing in mind where the England players have set themselves up. Saka back for Eze though, as England recycling. Berichy Eze pulling it back towards Kyle Walker. Foden actually intercepted that, but still plays it down towards Walker, and then indicates that there's space for Declan Rice. Walker plays it out towards that side, now towards Palmer. Palmer is direct, he'll take on his man, gets to the byline, trying to check, then attempted to nutmeg Fidmer. Didn't quite come off for him, but that was excellent from England. And Cole Palmer with a nice little cameo again.
Yeah, this is the injection of pace I'm talking about with other players. Palmer's prepared to do it, run at people and play at a higher tempo.
Foden showing the ball around the edge of the penalty area. Palmer breaks Foden's way after a deflection off Vidman. Foden going back for Rice. Just a little collision there off the ball between Shaw and Embolo. Luke Shaw's now got the ball at his feet, courtesy of a pass from Kyle Walker. We're in the 97th minute. 1-1. Foden. Back for Declan Rice again. Rice going out towards the left-hand side for Cole Palmer. Palmer trying to take on Vidman. Oh, he's nudged it past him. Vidman has... Well, he hasn't caught him. I thought he'd pulled him to the ground. Referee says no. And Stewart's shake of the head suggests that the referee's got it absolutely right. And then Kyle Walker very nearly saw Pickford short with a back pass. Aebischer not expecting it, and that half-second hesitation aided England's cause there. England have got it forward towards Eze. Poor pass though. Can't find him. Kane coming back. He can't pick it up. Switzerland getting the red shirts forward. Granit Xhaka to his left-hand side for Rodriguez. Zuba outside him. Inside to his right-hand side is Aebischer. Aebischer now finding Zuba with the floppy dark hair. He's trying a little chip which hit Harry Kane. Clearance from Saka not the best. Picked up by Rodriguez, and Kane is in there, knocks it away and stays down holding his ankle. And the referee is going to come across and have a word. It's going to be an England ball. Rodriguez just catching.
Just got a little kick on the back of the Achilles there. I don't think there was anything intentional in it, and when he planted his foot, it just seemed to roll his ankle slightly. Yeah, I don't want to keep on about Eze. I just don't think he's worked out how to play the position at the moment as left wing back. He's got to get a high starting position, and when he picks it up, he's got to show more dynamicism in regards to picking the ball up and running them players, like what we saw at Newcastle a couple of weeks ago, Jim.
Well, in fairness, it isn't his natural position. It's not one that he plays in club football.
It doesn't really matter. Football's football. You pick the ball up, he's got to run at the opposition when he gets it. That's his strength.
Switzerland have made another change. It's their third. They've taken off Ndoye, and they brought on the one-time Chelsea midfielder Denis Zakaria, who scored an own goal against Spain in the quarterfinals of the last Euros. Zakaria is primarily a central midfielder, but he's gravitating out towards the right-hand side at the moment. Xhaka playing the ball to Zakaria, wearing 6. It's only the second appearance that he's made in this tournament. Fabian Schär slows it down to a standstill, then works it forward over the halfway line for Remo Freuler. 9 minutes into extra time here on TalkSport. 1-1. England equalising 5 minutes after the Swiss had taken the lead. Both of those goals coming within the last 15 minutes of normal time. In front of a crowd of around 47,000 here today. Now Eze has picked it up, and now he does run. And he beats one, he beats a second, and draws a free kick. And that is what he needs to do.
Exactly that, Jim. As I say, really good. Picked the ball up and off he went. He's got past 3 or 4 players, so I'm not really asking a player to do something he can't do. He is a handful when he starts running.
Fabian Schär was the man that caught it. Schär, one of the 2 Swiss players who has already been booked. The substitute, remember the other, Harry Kane. Caution for England. The yellow card's wiped out after this game, incidentally.
I think we've got a game here, Jim, where both teams are not particularly good at getting it back off the opposition when they've got the ball. I don't know whether it's because they're that good at keeping possession, both teams, or both teams are not particularly good at pressing each other.
English free kick taken by Rice to Eze, goes all the way back for Pickford. Pickford just put under a little bit of pressure by Embolo. He had the opportunity to launch it forward, and it was one that he resisted. Walker's got it back to him. This time he plays forward into the feet of Bellingham. England still struggling to get Bellingham to be as heavily involved, anything like as influential as he was earlier in the game. Pickford chipping it out towards the far side. Shaw's going to try and come to meet it. Eze putting in an aerial challenge as well. Kane goes on. The bounce of the ball falls his way, and now to be taken on by Palmer. Palmer, good first time ball from him. Saka on the right hand side of the penalty area. He's got 4 to aim at if he can get it in. Quarterback cutting onto his left foot to try and whip an in-swinging cross in. Eventually he plays it back for Bellingham. Bellingham to Foden. Foden, right-footed shot from him. It's easily blocked by Akanji. Headed back in by Stones. Zuma letting it bounce. He shouldn't have done. Saka's got it. Saka's inside the penalty area. Couple of little step-overs. Chips it up. It falls for Bellingham. Onto his right foot. Shot is blocked. Second shot is saved. As he just tried to curl it into the top left-hand corner. And Sommer raced across his line and caught it.
Yeah, once again, this place comes alive when the ball arrives at Saka's feet. It really is. They've got to double up with him because no one can stop him individually. We need to keep feeding him if we can. It fell to Bellingham eventually, and I think his shot just took a deflection, took some of the weight off it.
Bellingham's role is much deeper now that Kobbie Mainoo has gone off. And Mainoo part of that triple change that England made in the aftermath of conceding the goal. So Bellingham in the deeper role alongside Declan Rice that many people like to see him in. Kane's up front, Foden and Palmer are playing as the split 10s in behind Kane. And it's Ezra at left wing back, Saka on the right, and Shaw on the left of three centre-halves in the what has been the Mark Gahey position through this tournament so far. He's come on to replace Ezri Konsa. 3 minutes from half-time and extra time. Remo Freuler for Granit Xhaka, just ticking things over again. Works it to his right. Akanji will towards the right-hand touchline for Zakaria. Zakaria taking it on his right foot, coming back inside, finding Fabian Schär. It's England's turn to defend with 11 behind the ball, inside their own half of the field. It's tense. 102 minutes gone at 1-1. Netherlands or Turkey for the winners of this.
Just looking down there at the subs warming up, it's the offence-minded subs, it's Bowen, it's Tony, it's Gordon, it's Watkins, so whether that's an indicator that Gareth might go hell for leather in the second period of extra time.
Saka wins a free kick, foul by Steven Zuba. It's a free kick that England will take 12 yards outside their own penalty area as half-time and extra time approaches. Kyle Walker is going to leave it, I think, for John Stones. The referee just tells him that he's not prepared to indulge too much time wasting. Walker for Stones again. Pickford showing for the pass inside his own penalty area. Xhaka paying lip service of putting the press on. Pickford will play out towards the left-hand side for Declan Rice, and back again. Now Pickford almost on the left-hand touchline, plays a long ball forward. Kane trying to flick it on, can't do so, but he finds Foden anyway. Foden actually had more time than he thought. He tried to improvise and flick the ball back towards Kane. He didn't get the pass right. Switzerland clattered it upfield as a result of that. Stones mops up, and now Rice has got it down by his own corner flag. He'll run round it, bring it under control and find Jordan Pickford.
Yeah, we just lost our way on the build-up there. We ended up clearing the ball. It's more of a clearance than a pass from Pickford, and from that, it's amazing what we've been able to pick up on seconds.
Bellingham. 20 yards inside his own half. There is an understandable nervousness. Those nerves are prevalent. They're seeping from the supporters out onto the field. They're being reciprocated as well from the players. And these are high stakes. Remember, Switzerland have never made it through to a major semi-final. It will be the biggest win in their history, therefore, if they can win this. England pushing forward. Eza chasing, but it's well defended by Schär, who can head his own attempted clearance back to his goalkeeper Jan Sommer. The first 15 minutes of extra time are up. There will be no extras at the end of that first period. We'll turn around with the side still dead level at 1 o'clock. England fans giving a rendition of the national anthem as Jude Bellingham stands as conductor of the choir on the edge of the centre circle. 15 minutes for either of these sides to get the job done without the need for penalties. And we have spoken before as we get back underway of England's preparations for penalty shootouts and the confidence that we feel, despite England's history, could be derived from that preparation. But nevertheless, they'll still do everything they can to get it done before that point. Harry Kane has gone down hurt, only 10 seconds into the second period of extra time, and he's going to need a little bit of medical treatment, is he? As he was just had his eyes on the ball there with Xhaka. Xhaka went to try and head the ball, and in doing so caught the back of Kane's head. He's all right. The England captain is back on his feet. He's going to be able to continue, and play will resume with an England throw. It was a real privilege to be in Stuttgart yesterday for the Spain-Germany game, which was won in the second period of extra time. I think shortly after I'd said these games tend not to be won in extra time. It was Spain that got through with a Marino header on the 119-minute mark. England have already won one game in extra time. Can they replicate that? 106 on the clock. 1-1. And Akanji's got the ball for the Swiss. And will come forward towards the edge of the centre circle again. Into the feet of Remo Freuler. Back for Akanji, another long diagonal ball. It's an excellent pass to find Vidma. Eza has got to keep his defensive wits about him. When they get the ball forward towards Vidma, big responsibility on Eberici Eza.
I'm a little bit surprised that Gordon's not featured in either of the last two games, you know, on this left-hand side. I wonder whether that bike incident has proved more of a problem than people are letting on, Jim.
Well, it came off in the closing moments against Slovenia. That was prior to coming off that bike. Haven't seen him at all since then. Tailor-made for him here. It's certainly a situation now which invites every player to write themselves an iconic moment in England football history. Think back, we can all recall those that we've seen before. I suppose David Platt against Belgium in 1990 would be the one that would immediately spring to mind here, when you need a goal near the end of extra time. Switzerland have got the ball, they work it forward towards Rodriguez. Zuber trying to make a run, it's going to end up at his feet anyway. Might have been offside, but it's an England player that got it into him eventually. Then it's chipped in, Vidma at the far post. Eza's done well, he beats him, brings it away, then stops and checks, and now will beat Zakaria again. He's then chipped it forward for Harry Kane, chasing after it. It's all that Kane could do to keep it in. He almost took Gareth Southgate out, and in fact Kane is in some distress. He's had a horrible fall as he's fallen into the technical area. He's followed in there by Akanji. Absolutely no implication there that Akanji's done anything wrong. Akanji chasing the ball, shoved Kane, who fell into one of the drinks holders in front of the technical area as Gareth Southgate took evasive action, and he possibly could have turned his ankle in the process. That was nasty.
Yeah, as I say, his landing was a fairly soft one, to be fair, because he had his manager cushioning it, but Ivan Toney sprung up and he looks as though he's going straight onto the pitch by the looks of things, and that is the case.
Switzerland will make a change first, and Bolo coming off. Xherdan Shaqiri is going to come on to replace him. He scored at 6 successive major tournaments. Shaqiri for Mbolo and Toney for Kane.
Yeah, I wondered how long it would be before Ivan Toney come on the pitch. He might offer us a slightly different dynamic as he did the other night.
Well, he goes to penalties. England losing one penalty taker, but replacing him with another. Toney, who came on in the 94th minute against Slovakia, had a major impact immediately. Scored against Belgium on his full debut. He's come on for his 5th appearance for his country here. The other end of the scale, the 125th appearance of Shaqiri's. Now Xhaka caught in possession. Palmer has got it, running towards the edge of the penalty area. Foden playing it in. Handball shout, optimistic, nothing given. Hit chair, his arm certainly in a natural position. Palmer clipping it in towards the penalty spot, looking for Toney. Didn't get there, Rodriguez clears. At the Stones inside the centre circle. Ball from him to Shaw. Shaw to Foden, back to Luke Shaw again. 10 minutes to go. Shaw hitting with the outside of his left boot all the way back for Jordan Pickford. Pickford coming out of his D to find John Stones. Stones has got to make sure he doesn't get caught in possession there by Shaqiri, who's playing his club football these days in MLS with Chicago Fire. Stones can bring it forward. Getting it away from the former Liverpool and Stoke man. Find Eza. Eza cutting in field. Never stopping him going too far. Eza checks and goes back for Luke Shaw. 9.5 to go here on TalkSport. A reminder that the aftermath of this game will have all the reaction from our England correspondent Faith Carruthers shouting to Gareth Southgate, to the headline makers as well. And then we'll hear from the Sports Bar boys, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy, taking your calls on 03717 22 3344. After an afternoon that, as we stand right now, is still so much in the balance. Jude Bellingham's got it. Rice to Eza. Luke Shaw making a run on the overlap for him, creating space. Eza plays it in, but the cross is blocked. It doesn't break Foden's way. Shaqiri is back. Shaqiri getting the better of Bellingham, can bring it forward. Zuma making a run from inside his own half, is onside. Poor pass to find him. Walker dealt with it well. England quickly on the front foot. Palmer getting it forward. Bellingham is still down, but England can work it round him. In towards Palmer. Palmer taking on a couple on the edge of the penalty area. Now Bellingham is back on his feet, and Switzerland are going to be able to bring it away. Yeah, really fortunate there that Shaqiri didn't get the pass right. He underhit it. It should have been way in behind the back line. There's a big margin for error, wasn't there? Sorry, Stu. No, Walker, there's a massive margin for error, and Walker managed to cut it out. He's been to Zacharias, just inside his own half. His left-hand side for Akanji. It is so tense. One moment of individual brilliance now could be enough. One mistake clearly could have a major part to play. Football going back inside his own half. England this season, in matches in which they've gone 1-0 down, have only lost 2 out of 7. Actually conceded the first goal in more games than they've scored the first goal over the course of this season. I don't ever remember that happening before. Switzerland bring it forward with Rodriguez to Zuma on the edge of the penalty area. It's hit in towards Widmer. Widmer right footed, flicked towards goal but cleared. Eza gets it away. Widmer got himself into a great position and didn't make the most of it. Zakaria unable to get the touch that he wanted. Switzerland recycling, work it out towards Rodriguez. Rodriguez's control is good. Play back through the midfield towards Xhaka. Aebischer back out to that left-hand side. Rodriguez flashes it in over the head of Widmer. Schär coming onto it, blasts it over the bar. Better options for him. Thankfully, from an England perspective, he didn't take it. Well, Schär was guilty of taking on a cross in the first half of extra time, I think it was, when he should have been taking a touch, and he's not learnt his lesson at all, fortunately for England. Well, this side of the pitch with Eza playing at left wing back looks as though we might be vulnerable defensively. So Alexander-Arnold's going to be coming on for England at the next break in play. Interesting to see who he replaces, whether it's going to be a straight swap for Saka. I think this is a penalty substitution, Jim. I really do. Well, you'll imagine the Trent will take one. We'll find out. Is it going to be Saka? Is it going to be Foden? Yes, it's Foden who will make way. Yeah. I think that was, I could see Saka being one of our penalty takers. I'm not sure about Phil, whether he would have been in the top 5. So Foden will come off and Trent Alexander-Arnold comes on. And that's a change that's being made with 6 minutes to go. Alexander-Arnold, who started the first 2 games, he got 6 minutes against Slovenia. He's going to get 6 minutes of extra time here. He's only featured in about 1 out of every 3 games from England's last 50 plus in the second half of Gareth Southgate's reign. But he comes on here with just a few minutes left. Now we'll go across to take a throw over on the far touchline on the England right-hand side. Jude Bellingham appearing just to take an energy supplement there. They'll do what they can to keep him on the field. So Saka on the left now. Eza's moved in one. Alexander-Arnold's gone out towards right wing back, so Eza effectively has taken up Foden's position. Saka has swapped flanks. Trent's on the right. Walker back for John Stones, and it does feel as though penalties an inevitability here, but there is still time for either side. Shaw coming forward. Ezra's got it. Ezra controlling the ball, buying himself just a half yard of space. Retreating for a moment down to the left-hand touchline and working back through the midfield towards John Stones. Stones then arrows one out towards Trent Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold back to Kyle Walker. The space for Trent in a more in-field position. He scooped it in beautifully with the outside of the right boot. Bellingham trying to work it around the corner for Tony. Couldn't get it right. And then the loose ball ends up at the feet of Shaqiri. And Zuba will make an early run over the top. And Shaqiri this time has found it. So the play gravitates out towards that far touch. The magnificent crossfield ball. Pickford thought about coming out. Thought better of it. Vidmar drives it in. It hits the retreating Saka and goes out of play for a corner. If Switzerland are going to win this, it'll be on the counter-attack, but they've set up a couple of opportunities. That means it's not out of the question.
Well, I've got to say, my heart sunk there, but fortunately for England, there was probably about 2 ounces of extra weight on that ball that made it just travel too far wide for the Swiss to get it out of their feet and get an effort away, with Pickford advanced off his line.
Yeah, got himself stuck in no man's land, Jordan Pickford, but got back very quickly. This is Switzerland's first corner of extra time. There's going to be a left-footed in-swinging delivery. Oh, Pickford punched it away. So nearly went in at the near post.
It's hit the post and come out. Pickford arms behind it. My goodness, that was close.
A moment of huge fortune for England. It was a brilliant attempt. Now the ball's gone over the line, or kept in actually by Ezra. Ezra then loses possession to Shaqiri, who's fouled by Luke Shaw. Well, that was a moment of fortune for England. It was a brilliant in-swinging corner in towards the near post, and it's clattered back off the post as Pickford came out to try and get his hands behind it. There's a big grin on Pickford's face over towards Shaqiri, who very nearly embarrassed him.
Well, there's no doubt about that. Was some corner whipped in there. If it was just a fraction inside the post, I think Pickford, well, let's give him credit, he would have got to it.
A double change for the Swiss, and this is probably with penalties in mind as well. Vincent Sierro, who plays his club football in France for Toulouse, coming on for the 4th time in this tournament, and Burnley's Zeki Amdouni, who's come off the bench in the last 3 games, is going to get a few minutes as well. They've replaced Aebischer and Freuler. So a double change made with 2 minutes to go for Switzerland. England inches away from a freakish elimination, or an elimination to a freakish goal. Brilliant attempt from Shaqiri. And the post has kept England in the tournament. Palmer works it forward here. Tony will chase after it. Hasn't really had anything in the way of services coming on to replace Harry Kane. Ivan Toney. Switzerland can get it forward again. It's a good ball into the feet on the edge of the area, and Pickford this time makes a decent stop from Amdouni, who just made a third man run that nobody picked up. Switzerland might believe that they can get this done before he goes to penalties. Cross comes in, and Vidmar on the slide at the far post after an England flick has fired it on the stretch over the bar.
Well, firstly, it was Pickford, a wonderful double-handed parry save away. And then when the ball come in, it took a big looping header off an England defender, Trent Alexander, and Vidmar at the far post just couldn't get enough on it to steer it goalward.
Jordan Pickford taking his time about this goal kick. 30 seconds to be played. There will be, I think, at least an extra minute to be added on because of the substitutions in extra time. Not much more than that. Real last knockings here. Stones just makes sure, walks back, sends a defensive header back for Jordan Pickford. Boos are from the Swiss fans in Pickford's direction as he wastes a little bit more time. Now sends it forward, left-footed, giving Ivan Toney something to try and attack, but he was well beaten in the air. Rice turning it with his right foot over his shoulder. Good touch round the corner. England bring it forward again. We've got 1 additional minute at the end of the 120. It's going to be ultra late and so dramatic if either side can win it now. Eza, played in by Saka. Shaw on the overlap. Shaw clipping it in. Tony peels away. Headed away from him by Amdouni. And towards Kyle Walker. Walker for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Touch not great. Good enough though. He's played in Walker. Walker, right-footed, pulls it back. Cleared again. Easily inside his own penalty area by Sierra. Headed down by Rice. One more chance to get it forward. Saka smacks it straight at Zakaria. Gets it again. Saka to Eza. Eza back towards halfway. Stones has got to look forward. He's got to hit it long. He's got to hit it quickly. Looking for Tony. Was he given a shove? Referee says no. Zuba watches the ball out of play for a goal kick. I don't think there will be time to take it. And the referee has signalled full time. And yet again, the quarterfinals of the Euros go to penalties. We've been here before. England to get the job done from the spot. We'll find out in a moment. Cole Palmer will take the first one for England, who are going first. The Swiss have only won one of the 5 penalty shootouts they've ever been in. England have won 3 out of 10. Palmer, left-footed, sends the keeper the wrong way. Brilliant penalty to give England the early advantage. A lot of the Swiss players who are on the field at the moment have taken a penalty in a shootout before. The only win that they've ever had came against France in the round of 16 in Euro 2020. Cher and Kanji both took one and scored that day. And it looks as though it's going to be a Kanji who's going to go first. He's tended in previous shootouts to go third. He missed his last one and is saved against Spain in the quarterfinals of the last Euros. Jordan Pickford in penalty shootouts has saved 4 in the past, including one against the Swiss. It's Dermich who saved on that day. He's not playing today. So Akanji to tie this up at 1-1 after a penalty apiece. Pickford bobbing up and down on his line. Harold Akanji stands motionless, addresses the ball right-footed. Pickford saves, diving to his left. Comfortable stop, not a great penalty. Pickford went the right way and the rest was easy. 1-0 England after one apiece.
Yeah, this is interesting. Bellingham coming up to take the next penalty. I would have probably had 1 or 2 of his teammates slightly before him, but listen, the goalkeeper, as we expected, is a barrier and a half psychologically as well. He gets in people's heads.
I'll go back to what you mentioned the other day. You put your first penalty taker, your best penalty taker first, and you put your second best penalty taker fourth. That's the logic that England subscribe to. Bellingham will go second. He paces out a 3-step run-up backwards, then moves to the left-hand side, exhales and clips it right-footed into the bottom right-hand corner with consummate ease, like he was playing in the park in Stourbridge against his brother as an 8-year-old. 2-0 England.
Super penalty, absolutely super penalty. I can honestly say I'm sat here with so much confidence that the preparation that these boys have gone in, I know our best 5 penalty takers are going to stand up and take the best 5 penalties they possibly can.
Fabian Cher goes second, as he tends to do. He scored 3 of his 4 penalties in shootouts in the past, but missed his last one, which came in the quarterfinals against Spain. Bottle's just been thrown on the pitch and almost hit Jordan Pickford. Pickford perfectly entitled to move that, because the ball might have hit him. Puts a little bit of pressure on Cher. Hits it right-footed, and he sent Pickford the wrong way. So 2 penalties apiece still. Advantage England. They're 2-1 up.
Yeah, long way to go. That young man Saka is making the World Cup now. He knows what it's like to take a penalty in a big game.
Saka is number 5 in the final of the last Euros, but his penalty record for Arsenal has been exemplary. He goes third for England. Jan Sommer just being told to come back. He was running on the edge of the 6-yard box for a moment. Osato looks at him with face of thunder and tells him to stand on his line in the right position and to stop prevaricating. Bukayo Saka taking 3 or 4 quick steps back. Knows what it's like when this moment goes wrong. But exercises demons brilliantly. And he just slots it into the bottom right-hand corner, and you more than anyone will know exactly what that means to him.
You're absolutely right, Jim, and to be honest with you, I'd rather be down there with him taking a penalty than up here. I feel more nervous than ever I did when I took a penalty for my country, and credit to him. Listen, absolutely fantastic penalty, and it puts us a step closer to that semi-final.
So it's 3-1 England at the moment, but the Swiss have a penalty in hand. Xherdan Shaqiri comes to take it. Lovely moment there. Stones walked forward 25 yards to greet Saka as he made his way back and embraced him. Here's Shaqiri then against Jordan Pickford, and he very nearly saved it, but he squeezed it in. Hit him with enough power to beat Pickford. And Shaqiri, who hit the frame of the goal towards the end of normal time, makes it 3-2. And now to back up what you're saying about putting your best penalty takers first and fourth, here's Ivan Toney.
This is what all the rubbish about penalty taking is a lottery. They've done their homework. There's people down there in the huddle that I know have put so much work into this. Your best penalty taker takes fourth. This is the most important one. Ivan Toney, do what you do for Brentford, for England.
Toney has spotted the ball down. We've seen this routine so many times. 3 steps back. Sommer standing motionless on his line. Toney scores. England are on the brink of the semi-finals. He hits it right-footed into the bottom left-hand corner, and then urges the crowd to give him some volume. England are nearly there. They've scored 4 out of 4. And if Jordan Pickford can save the next one, England are in the semi-finals. Penalty shootout victories, so rare and isolated over the years. Switzerland decide that England have beaten in the shootout before. Can they beat them again? Next man making his way forward is Burnley's Zeki Amdouni, and he looks nervous. And he spots the ball down. Pickford stands, hands above his head. Is this the moment that takes England through to the last 4? Amdouni right-footed, pretty much down the middle as Pickford dived to his left. And they live to fight another day. But it's still advantage England. And if the next one goes in, England have won. We've seen successful penalties from Palmer and Bellingham and Saka and Toney, and now it's Trent Alexander-Arnold to win it for England.
This was the late sub, Jim. This is why they brought Trent on, for this moment now. Please score.
England's history littered with penalty shootout heartbreak, particularly in quarter-finals, particularly in this competition. Trent Alexander-Arnold against Sommer. Not this time! Not this time! England win on penalties. A quite magnificent shootout. 5 sensational, crisp penalties that propel England through to another semi-final. It isn't home time yet. 10 minutes from time, in normal time, England trailed. They equalised, had one moment of riding their luck in extra time, but there was no luck in the shootout. 5 brilliant penalties, 1 Pickford save was all it took, and England are in another semi-final. The dream lives on.